semester. So just as we ended yesterday on the notes that we're going to have various presentations, can we have the presentation from Accra? Accra, let's get your presentation and then Kumasi groups will also continue. Or would you prefer that the Kumasi group will finish with the composite one and then Accra would present the proposal, financial and technical?
Yes, please.
Yes. Madam, let Accra start.
Okay. So let's take Kumasi Group 1. Kumasi Group 1, please, are you ready? Take over. How many minutes do you require?
That is 30 minutes.
Please try and make it less for us.
Okay, we will try.
Half of the time should be fine.
Yes, please.
Okay, so Kumasi Group 1, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Modesta. So we are group 1. We will start with our icebreaker. Please, can anybody hear me?
Very well. We can hear you.
Okay. So we will start with our icebreaker. I don't know if our icebreaker will actually break the ice, looking at what is going on in Ghana. So I'll urge all of us to observe a 30-second silence for the 8 heroes we lost in the plane crash. Thank you. Okay, so we pray that God will strengthen their families, especially the children and the widows, and then help them through this difficult moments of their lives. So, like I said, we are group 1, and these are my honorable group members showing on your screen. Next slide, please. Divine, next slide.
Divine, can you hear? Okay.
Yes, apologies.
All right, so we are going to present on expression of interest and shortlisting of interest. Next slide, please. Next slide, Divine. All right. So what is expression of interest into brackets EOI?
Hello, Modesta, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Sorry, I'm here. Sorry, I was muted. Sorry. So what is expression of interest into brackets EOI? An expression of interest EOI in consulting is a formal document or statement submitted by an individual consultant or consulting firm to show their willingness and capability to provide services for a specific project, assignment, or contract. Organizations such as governments, NGOs, development agencies, or private companies often issue a request for expression of interest when they want to identify qualified consultants before sending out a full request for proposal, into brackets, RFP. So an example is, for instance, in government and policy advisory, a regional government body may release an EOI inviting governance and policy consultants to support the review and drafting of anti-corruption and transparency policies. And then selected consultants will be invited for the RFP process. Thank you. I'll end here and call on Fantastic Francis to proceed. Thank you. Francis, over to you. Hi, Francis, are you there? Hello.
Okay, so let me quickly take this side as we are not getting Francis. So we are talking about the purpose of the EOI, the expression of interest. So why do companies go through this process? So basically, EOI is needed when especially the company wants to get qualified consultants for a service, and they extend it to people to put in a proposal which will highlight their experiences, their capabilities, and a company profile. So it's basically to invite qualified consulting firms to submit their interest in providing a consultant service for a project. So it's a step where procurement processes allows you to shortlist a potential consultant before they finally submit the detailed proposal or RFP as has been shared earlier on. So that's the main key purpose. It has a disadvantage in the sense that it might be time consuming, in the sense that if you want to go through the EOI before you start the RFP, the agency of the project might not allow you to do that. So there are the pros and cons around that. So it's crucial for when a business wants to have a pool of qualified consultants and assess before they go through the RFP process. I continue with the requirements for EOI submission. So EOI submission has a requirements method or standard to meet. So first of all, you have the company profile. So for you to submit an EOI as has been maybe advertised on the procurement portal on the website of a company, being it a government or a private institution, first of all, you, the consulting firm, should have a brief preview of your consulting firm experience. You should show the expertise and your qualification. Afterwards, you have to talk about your relevant experiences, describing the relevant areas of expertise you've done, including some case studies or examples of previous work to buttress your point that you are fit for the work. You also have to talk about your team composition. So it means that you should also provide information of your key experts and skills of staff to allow them to handle the project efficiently and effectively, because people want value for money. And also there should be the understanding of the project. So it means they should provide a brief description of how they understand the project they're about to undertake with the objectives and scope in perspective. I continue with the submission. So how do you go about the submission? One, it has to be in writing. It shouldn't be verbal because it's documented. And it should also have the cover letter. It should be a brief description of the firm and its interest in the project. After, there should be an EOI document as has been talked about earlier on, and also that it has to meet the deadline. So it means that you can do all these things. Once you don't meet the deadline, you'll be automatically disqualified because you are working with time, because after this is when the RFP will now be considered. So I move quickly to the next slide, who will talk about the assessment criteria. So what are the guidelines? What are the things a business or a company will look at before he evaluates your EOI you sent? Because you have expressed your interest. So what are the things I need to do as a business to check whether you meet these criteria? So the first thing the business look at is the technical criteria. So it's about the relevant experiences the consultant will have to show or prove in his document he submitted. So you should be able to know that you have the knowledge base and technical skills to handle that project, and also the methodology. So the tools and techniques you'll be using, it should be detailed. So these are assessment criteria. You're also looking at the quality criteria, the innovation and creativity you bring on board, not just doing the work, but how make it stand out, because the uniqueness of the project, if you are given opportunity to handle, you have to compare it to your previous work as well. We also talk about the cost criteria and cost effectiveness. This also applies when you are in the RFP as well. So the fees you bring on board, they're value for money. So every company, as it's not just a charity or not necessary to just spend on any penny. They want to see that if you are giving you this project, is it worth the money you are giving you? So there's a value for money as well, and there's the capacity and capability criteria. It's where the composition of your team, the qualification, the experience and expertise of your consultant team members, plus your resources and infrastructure, is able to meet up the proposed project available. We also talk about reputation and references. So it's where the business will also check from the market, the previous work we've done, the testimonials, the feedback people get from the previous work you've done for them, and the compliance, because companies don't want to associate with unethical companies. So they have to check whether you comply to the specific requirements stated in the EOI and everything. So these are also comprehensively done before assessed. So we now look at how is evaluation done. So there are basically 4 steps to the evaluation. You have to look at, first of all, the administrative and compliance check. Is either a pass or a fail? So first one we look at is the ensure that submission was received before deadline. So once you don't meet the deadline, means you have failed there. It also to continue to talk about the verifying that all relevant and required documents are included. So there should also have a section where you're providing your registration, tax clearance certificate, your company profile, your CVs. See, we are also looking at the confirm your eligibility. So you have to also show that there's no conflict of interest issues. You are not blacklisted from engaging the consultant services by law. And also you have to meet the minimum requirement. This is the first step. The second step is about technical assessment. This is where we do the scoring. So we assess the firm's relevant experience in similar assignments. So based on your similar assignment, you're able to put a mark, maybe out of maybe 20 or 50. You can say based on previous work, you can assign a score of maybe 20 over 50 or 20 over 30. We evaluate your qualification and expertise on that of your proposed staff. Because you're working with people, it's not a silo. So you are working with a team. So the experience level, their capability level, their skill sets. We check all these things in addition with understanding of the assignments. So understanding of assignment will show it forth in the methodology, like how you want to work around the project. The third stage is where we look at the financial stability, because most projects will expect that you start a project, pre-finance it before the payments are released. So companies will look at your financial stability, whether you have the funds to start the project or when funds are released. You look at your audited accounts, whether you have no issues with some bad debt, you have no turnover issues, you're able to quickly have some cash to arrange to get resources done quickly. And lastly is the ranking and shortlisting. So ranking is where, based on the scoring, we see based on maybe your technical experience, we scored you 20. Based on your financial experience, we score you 10. Based on other relevant experiences, we score you. So it's added. And all shortlisted based on the scores are weighted. And we choose, there are companies who might choose the top 3, top 6, and there are those who might also give a basic score, maybe a standard score. If once you cross the 75 or 85 mark, you are considered. So hopefully, if a new is on call, he can take over with the presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Divine, Dynamic Divine. I also continue from where you left off. And I continue with slide 13, who evaluates? When we ask this question, evaluation is normally conducted by an evaluation panel, stroke committee, depending on the organization. 1, public sector or government projects. A tender evaluation committee, TOC, formed by the procuring entity, example, ministry, SOE, or agency, usually includes technical experts, procurement officers, finance officers, and sometimes legal advisors. 2, development partners, stroke donor-funded projects. An independent evaluation committee set up under the procurement rules of the World Bank, AFDP, UN, etc., often includes external experts in the field plus external staff. 3, private sector or corporate clients, The procurement to contracting department evaluates with input from the requesting business unit, sometimes supported by external consultants for technical review. The next page, the next slide. We have here, I continue with the expression of interest, which is the sample of EOI, as we have gathered here for our clients. So, firstly, we look at the firm that is submitting its EOE. You have to put up your address. We have Fantastic Francis and Associates. That is group one. We are the consultancy firm submitting our EOE, expressing our interest. So our address is over there, a postal address, Kumasi, email address, and all that. The date that we are submitting the EOE. And then come to the procuring entity, the management team, Anes & Co. Limited. That is the procuring entity. So now come to the subject matter, expression of interest for management consulting services. That's one also, that is how we have put in the group one ventures, or better put Fantastic Francis and Associates, that's group one, is pleased to submit this expression of interest UI to provide management consulting services to Anes & Co. Limited. We bring extensive expertise in strategy, organizational effectiveness, and business transformation that aligns with your organization's goals for growth and sustainability. Now, our capabilities: strategic planning and growth advisory, assisting organizations to define, refine, and implement business strategies that drive long-term value. Organizational development, designing structures and processes that enhance productivity and team effectiveness. Performance improvement, applying data-driven insights to streamline operations and increase efficiency. Next slide, please. Next slide, please, Divine. Hello, Divine, next slide. Hello, Divine. Yeah, so I continue with the next slide. So, please go forward once more. So I still on slide 12. Move to 13 for me.
Slide 13.
Yes, please.
This is slide 13.
This is right.
So move to the next one after this.
This is 12. Yes. Okay. So slide 13, as I continue. Shortlisting for consulting services is basically a filtering step between receiving many applications and inviting only the best suited consultants to submit detailed proposals or participate in interviews or presentations. Thus, the process by which a client such as Annes & Co. Limited reviews all the expressions of interest. The EU or proposal submitted by consultant. We have named ourselves Fantastic Francis and Associates, and then select a smaller group of the most qualified firms to move forward in the procurement process. So as I leave the rest for my honorable, please take it over.
Okay. I'm Anita, Authentic. I'm taking over from the steps in shortlisting. As already said, shortlisting is a process for narrowing down submissions to those that best meet the requirements. And then there are 6 steps listed here. The first one is the initial review. With the initial review, you are saying you have to review all proposals received to ensure they meet the minimum requirements outlined in the RFP, that is the request for proposal. And with the review, initial review is the first screening stage. And then submissions are checked for basic compliance, whether you met the deadline, the required documents are all included, and it also checks the eligibility conditions if it's satisfied. The step 2 is evaluation criteria. That is, establish a step of evaluation criteria to assess the proposals, such as relevance, experience, and expertise. The evaluation criteria also there is a clear criteria are defined, and then they are applied to assess proposals fairly. These may include the relevant experience, your financial strength, the qualifications, the technical capability. From the evaluation criteria, we move to the scoring proposals. And the scoring proposals helps to assign scores to each proposal based on the evaluation criteria. Here, the proposals that pass the initial review are scored against the evaluation criteria. We can use a weighing system, that is F 70% for technical, 30% for financial. So if you are able to go through these weighing systems, then you pass for the next step, which is the shortlisting, which identify the top ranked proposals based on the scores. Shortlist, here we shortlist a minimum of 3 to 5 consultants who will be invited to proceed to the next stage of the evaluation process. So based on the scoring, the highest ranked clients or candidates are selected. And then this step, it narrows the pool to a manageable number, which is stated 3 to 5 or 3 to 6 bidders. So the shortlisting moves further for a further evaluation. With the further evaluation, we conduct a further evaluation of the shortlisted proposal, which may include a further interview or presentation for the candidates who qualified. So for further evaluation, the shortlisted candidates, they undergo a deeper assessment, which may include detailed technical proposals, review, their interviews and their reference checks. Then you move to the final selection stage. That is the further evaluation. The committee, evaluation committee or authority makes a final decision here. And then the winner or the selected candidate is chosen based on the best overall evaluation. Please move on to the next.
Okay, good. Okay, it's even at the conclusion stage. So
to conclude, we are saying that the expression of interest. Okay, please.
Anita, thank you so much. So, Group, I want to thank you, but I want to start from the beginning because you've veered off into another group's presentation. So you are supposed to just do the submissions of the expression of interest and how we evaluate the expression of interest to do shortlisting. But now you've gone all the way to evaluating the proposal. At this stage, the proposal has not been submitted, but you've evaluated the proposal, everything. So that's why I had to come in. So I'm sure you were confusing the evaluation of the expression of interest and the proposal, but you have the idea, just that you went beyond. So please let me take over from now. Please, can you kindly stop sharing so I can share? Where's my slide? So I can share my slide. Just a minute. Just a minute, I'm coming. Okay. No, not this one. Let me say the one we used yesterday. Okay. Just give me a minute. I want to go straight to the All right, so that's an expression of interest. They've already told us what an expression of interest is. So anytime an organization submits a RFP, when they send an RFP out, they will request expression of interest. So what you first of all do is that you first of all write to them to let them know that you are interested in it, and that once they evaluate what you submitted, then they will ask you to submit the proposal, financial proposal and technical proposal. So in the expression of interest, it's written by the consultant to the organization, the client organization. What you have to include in your expression of interest is that you define the task. So what is the assignment about? What is the request for proposal about? So your understanding of what is expected in terms of the requirements of the consultancy that they are requesting you to do. What is your definition of it? What's your understanding of it? Then the task objectives. The task objectives are normally stated in the request for proposal. So you list them and then you just use them. Now the consultant organization, you need to let us know your consultant organization. What organization is it? How long has it existed? And everything you can tell us. Now it's just like you are selling yourself to us that you can do the job. So you need to let us know so much about your organization. Then you also have to talk about the relevant experience of the consultant relative to the job that you're coming to do. So it is at this stage that you have to make sure that you have diverse experiences from consultants.
if you don't have enough consultants, that's where you may have to bring in some others. But remember, they're working for you. And so you bring in those with the relevant experience. You tell us their experience, their qualifications, their competencies, the various works that they've done before. Make sure you don't associate, they are not associated with anything negative, because it can go against you. Then what professional team are you bringing along besides the consultants? So what administrators, project managers, any professional team, what is the composition and who is going to do what? So you give us a detailed understanding of your professional team, how long they've worked, their background, their competence, their certificates, everything. You let us know. So you add their CVs also to it, CVs of the professional staff. It's even appropriate that you add the CVs of the consultants at this stage, because they are going to be evaluated. So this is what you submit. And then once you submit, they will always give a deadline. Maybe submit by 20th of August 2025. By the close of 20th of August, if you've not submitted for whatever reason, please, you are not qualified. We are not going to look at your work. Okay. Now, this is for instance, a copy of the expression of interest, maybe just the first page. So just like they showed us, it's letter. So you write the letter, and then you attach the actual document of all the things that we've listed here: definition of task, the objectives, consultants, organization, everything as a document. Now, this is how we shortlist the submissions of the expression of interest. There are three main groups of evaluators who evaluate whether we should allow you to submit a proposal after the EOI or not. So the management can constitute a committee that they will do the assessment themselves. Sometimes we look at their work, and then we look at the right professional association, we bring them on board. Like if it's an accounting work, we bring ICA or auditors work, we bring the auditors in. They look at the work, the EOI that you submitted to evaluate. And then sometimes we can ask a consultant to come in and do the shortlisting for us. So they come in to evaluate, so then they can shortlist. What are the criteria that they look out for? With the EOI, there are three main things they look out for. One, the relevant experience of the consulting firm. So that's why it's very important that you should sell your organization well, what you've done before, what you've achieved, the companies, the great companies that you associate with, and all that. So the relevant experience of the consulting firm. Two, the qualifications of the key staff. So the qualifications are the paper certificates, what they've achieved on paper. Maybe this is a PhD person in this field. This one holds a chartered Institute of Personnel and Development. This one holds a chartered certificate in ICA. This one holds a chartered certificate in CIMG. This one has a master's degree. This one has this. They are looking for the qualifications. Then C, we will also assess on the competences. So there's difference between qualifications and competences. So what they can do, what they've actually done before. So if you add me as a consultant, they want to know, what are my competences? Which areas do I have the competences? What have I also done before? So these are the three areas that we assess the EOI. So the group has done the work, but with the assessment, they moved on to the assessment of the proposal. Yes, we will assess the proposal, but we've not gotten to the proposal stage. This time is the EOI. Once your EOI is shortlisted after the evaluation, then we ask only those who have been shortlisted to submit technical and financial proposal. So that's why I had to come in, because it was going on and on, but you were veering off, so I had to come in group. So group, yes, you started off very well, beautiful, but the end, you jumped actually to evaluation of proposal. You went beyond evaluation of EOI, but you did well. Please, Any questions for me?
Oh, Anas, we rather want to thank you for calling us to order. Actually, there was no much time for us, so we were in a haste putting this work together. So we thank you for correcting us.
Anas, please, I have a question.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, yes, Modesta, and then I'll call Mary. Modesta. Modesta, I thought you had a question.
Yes, Anas.
Go ahead.
So I wanted to ask, you see, sometimes you'll be on LinkedIn and somebody will go on your profile, study what you do, and then send you their business proposals in your inbox, wanting to do business with your firm or even yourself. Can I call that? Is it fair to call that somebody starting an EOI?
No.
Okay.
That is actually the contacting phase.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the contacting phase. When you get in touch with them, they will ask you to submit EOI and all that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Mary.
Okay, Ahmed, thank you very much for the explanations. When you were presenting, I was just asking myself, the assessment criteria, the first one, the relevant experience of consulting firm. What if you are a startup, you are now starting, you are now trying to get yourself into the game, but you have the expertise in it, you have the people around you to work with, but you are now starting. Will you be disqualified based on that? And if yes, then how do you get the relevant experience to qualify for such works? Thank you.
Okay, that's a good question. Now, always go with someone who's done it before. So you can go with those who have done it before, partner with other consulting firms to start work before you start being on your own.
Okay.
Or the consulting firm has existed for a number of times. What you can do is start doing work free of charge, at least for some people, things that are not really expensive. You can do it free of charge for the organizations, and then it will be a stepping stone for you. And then also another way is that you may be a new firm, but once your key staff, the consultants, and then the professional team have the relevant qualifications and competencies and years of experience, you are good to go. So it could be that, for instance, some, let's say five lecturers have been in consulting business all this while, but they now decide to set up their own consulting firm. The consulting firm may not have so much relevant experience, but then the staff, the consultants will have so much experience that the organization may decide to overlook the experience of the firm, because the firm can have experience, but then the key staff may not have experience. The firm could have existed for 15 years, but then the staff just have 2 years experience because maybe there's high turnover or something. So all these ways you can maneuver around it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, let's go to Gitti and then we go to Mr. Beda.
Thank you, Hannes. Please, I'd like to say, I just want to add to what you said concerning Mary's question. With the expression of interest, I'm chanced to have, but in a different way. There's a way we do some tenders for.
Please, Kitty, can you talk up a bit for me?
E&I for tenders. Hello, madam. Please, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm saying that, fortunately, there is another.
Kitty, we've lost you.
That way we do this 10U to me because I'm opportunity to do some tenders with Talo, ENI, and the likes. And the way they bring their tendering documents, for instance, if we have to show the expression of interest, probably after sending the email, and then they request for some documents of which we send to them, and after sending that to them, they see that, okay, yes, we are capable of doing this, and then they are inviting us to tender. And when they bring this document, they are list quite loaded documents they send to us, technical wise, HR, whatever. It's lumped, and you have to fill all these forms and to the pricing. And so finance department, they have theirs to work on, the HR has theirs to work on, the engineers, depending on the kind of tender they want us to do. So they kind of send all these documents, and we have to fill them, and then after filling them, we compile everything and in triplicates, and then send it to them at their offices. At times they ask for us to even put some in pen drives and things. So I think this is quite new to me, and so that is the only one I know of. So with the expression of interest, which on our part, there's a place where they say, okay, you can, you who hasn't registered your company, you should just let us know what name you intend using, and then your office location. There's a place where you indicate that, and then so it means you are still able to express interest. Thank you.
Okay, Gissy, majority of the things I couldn't get because your line was so bad. But I think if I got you right, what you are submitting, we will term it as the proposal itself now. We've not gotten there yet. And it also depends on the selection of the consultant. For instance, if it's, how do you call it, single sourcing, sole sourcing, they normally will jump the expression of interest. It's only when it's competitive bidding that they will ask for expression of interest, and then once they submit, they do the shortlisting, then we ask you to submit the actual proposal. So until now, you will not have done the tedious work that you talked about. The tedious work actually comes in when we are doing the technical proposal, financial proposal. It's very tedious. So then you do it in triplicates, and then you add a pen drive and all the things that you are talking about. But as of now, no. This one requires work, but not so much work as if you are doing the tender like you described. So I don't know whether Gissy, I've touched on what you said, but your line was breaking most of the time, so I didn't catch everything.
Yes, please. It's fine, ma. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Beda.
Hello, Ernest. Thank you. In Anita's presentation, I don't know if I got the name right. She quoted 70% technical and then 30% finance per the scoring, with scoring. I want to know if it is industry based or is per her presentation.
Okay, please allow me to take it for Anita. They were actually talking about the proposal. So here we don't have that, but the proposal stage, normally that's how they go. That's a rule of thumb. That's how they normally go. But as an organization, you're also allowed to vary it, depending on what your focus is. But you don't vary it at the time of assessment. You vary it before submission of the proposal. So everything will be in the request for proposal. So I don't know whether the one that I sent to you, you can see the variations, whether it's 70-30 or 60-40, but normally it goes 70-30. But we've not gotten it. Is there? Please, have you found it in the request for proposal or not? No problem. If you've not found it, we will get there. Okay, so it's for another group. Here, the 70-30 and all that don't come in. This is the criteria. The organization can decide how much we are going to allocate to each of these assessment criteria. And these are not cast in stone. The organization can also add on. Okay, so it's not cast in stone. Okay, so thank you very much, Group 1. Group 2, can we have your presentation as I stop sharing? Group 2, small thing. We are waiting.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Group 2, Kumasi. Andy?
Yes. Yes. Good
If
afternoon.
you're ready.
Yes. Good afternoon, class. I've seen that it looks like the class is a little bit dull. So before we continue, we would like you guys to type amen in the comment section. If you get at least 30 people typing.
Amen. Amen to God.
Please, what's the prayer?
There's no prayer.
Where's the prayer?
Okay, it looks like, okay.
Just type amen, please.
Anita,
Type amen. All the prayers you've prayed in your life, just type amen.
All right. Oh, looks like, oh, we need more. We need more. Okay.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 26. Oh, we need more. We need more. We are 26 now. 27. Less.
Oh.
28.
Right. Let's do it 2 times. So.
Hey, 29. 31, 32.
Right.
Okay, we have to.
All right.
Yeah, we have.
All right. So Group 1 will be presenting on the technical and financial proposal format, and with the World Bank RFP standard. The World Bank RFP standard is divided into 2: the technical aspect and the and the financial aspect. The technical proposal is more or less like the game plan, and the financial proposal is the price tag. So in summary, it just means that just remember everything. It means that evaluating the mastermind first before the pricing. Now, with the technical, this is the technical proposal overview, and this is the plan of action for it. It first asks the question, what will you do? Then it goes to, how will you do it? Who will do it? And when will you do it? So, based off those questions, we have an example. Just answer that. So, for example, if the project was to train 200 farmers in irrigation, step 1 will be to meet community leaders. Step 2 will be to train farmers in groups of 20 within 2 to 5 weeks. And step 3 could be follow-up visits, maybe 6 weeks on the state.
I'm sorry to interrupt Group 2. I'm very sorry.
Okay. So let me continue.
Please kindly put your slides in slide mode.
Okay. Okay. So the technical aspect addresses the plan of action, which is the what would you do, how would you do it, who would do it, and when will you do it. It also has key sections like the cover letter, the firm experience, the suggestions on the TOR, the methodology and work plan, the team and CVs, and the timeline. Most importantly, the timeline and schedule. So let's say you have a project of let's say you have a project of 200 to train 200 farmers in irrigation. The step one, which was what would you do, would be to meet community leaders from the week one, and how would you do it? What would you do would be to train 200 farmers in irrigation. Then how would you do it would be to meet community leaders and train farmers in groups of 20, and you also attach a schedule to it. Maybe this project will last for maybe 1 to 8 weeks or whatever. Then every step would have its own week dedicated to it. So can you please move on to the next slide for me? Next one. Yes. So here are some of the key sections for the technical proposal. It has a cover page, a table of content, there's executive summary, the introduction, the background. All this has to do with what would you do, how will you do it, when will you do it, and the timeline. This would also show the expertise of the team. For example, you can have one expert in the team called maybe Kwame, who's an agribusiness expert or an agronomist expert for more than 20 years, or Amma, who is an experienced trainer. All this will be part of the technical proposal, so as the person can really assess it to see if it's going to be viable or not. So I'll hand over to Notable Nyako to speak on the financial proposal part of the World Bank RFP standard.
Hello.
Yes, Notable Nyako, we can hear you.
Yes, thank you very much, Andy. I'll continue from where Andy stopped by giving us the format. But before I continue, let me draw our attention. We are doing the presentation for the format, not the technical proposal itself. We are taking you through the format that you are supposed to go through when you are preparing for the technical and financial proposal. So, like indicated here, this is the cover page, what you are expected to see on your cover page. The title of the proposal, the client name and logo, if applicable, then your organization's name, that's the consultant, the person who is writing the technical proposal, the date of submission, then contact information. Then table of contents, you have to list all sessions with page numbers for easy navigation. Then executive summary, a concise review of the proposal. You have to do basically 1 to 2 pages will be okay to write something, a summary of the proposal, highlight the client's need, propose solution, and key benefits. You should be able to convey the decision makers at a glance. So the summary will talk about the whole technical proposal you have written, and at a glance, the decision makers should be convinced. They have to, when it comes to the introduction or background, you give a brief description of the client's problem or need, because you should be able to let them know that you are sure of what they are in need of. Context of the project, why the project is necessary, then references to previous related work or studies you have done is very important so that you know the background that you are coming from. Then you come to the problem statement or objectives. Define the main problem to be addressed. Outline the objectives of the project, then specify deliverables expected by the client. Propose solution or methodology. Detailed explanation of the proposed approach. Techniques, tools, and technology to be used. Step-by-step plan or phases of execution. Justification of why this approach is most effective. So that is the section for proposed solution. Then technical approach and work plan. Specific activities and tasks required. Sequence of activities. Work breakdown structure. Deliverables for each phase. Then you go to the project schedule or timeline. Provide a Gantt chart or tabular schedule. You need to let your people, let the company, your client, know how they are going to execute the job. So give them the schedule, tabular, key milestones, deadlines, and expected completion date. Very important. Then resource plan, human resource, list team members, roles, and qualifications. Let your clients know people, the expertise you are bringing on board, people who are going to do the job. So you list the team members, you list their roles and qualifications, material resources, equipment, facilities, and software to be used. Demonstrate capacity to deliver. Then we come to the budget or cost estimates. Detailed breakdown of project costs, labor, equipment, materials, and overheads. Justification for costs, then payment terms if required. Then you have to talk about the risk analysis and mitigations, identify potential risks, technical, financial, environmental, operational. Outline strategies to minimize or manage risks, include contingency plans. In conclusion, summarize why your proposal is the best option, reassure the client of commitment and capability, suggest next steps, example, contract signing, meeting. Before I finish with the technical proposal, this is also very important, the evidences, technical drawing, charts, and detailed calculations, references or supporting documents, company profile, certificates, or case studies. Best practices in writing a technical proposal. Use clear and professional language. Tailor the proposal to client requirements. Do not use a generic template. Support arguments with data, charts, and evidence. Ensure formatting consistency, fonts, headings, spacing. Proofread for accuracy and clarity. So that will be for the technical proposal. We then move on to the financial proposal. I'll call on Daniela to continue from here. Daniela, if you are online.
Okay, so I'm going to continue from the financial proposal. So with the financial proposal, this is the money part of the plan. I mean, it shows how much a project will cost, the funds that will be used, and why the costs are reasonable. Then we have the purpose to provide a transparent breakdown of the project's cost, to demonstrate efficient use of resources, to help clients evaluate value for money, to serve as a basis for all contract negotiations. So simply to provide the clear breakdown of the costs and then show the value of money. Then we move on to the structure of the financial proposal. We have the cover page, and the cover page should include the title of the proposal, the client's name and logo, the organization's name and logo, the submission dates, and contact information. Then we move on to the table of contents. That is, it should consist of organized list of all sections with page numbers. Then the executive summary is just a short overview of the financial plan and its benefits. Next, please. Then we have the cost breakdown. So with the cost breakdown, we have the direct cost, that is the labor, the materials, and the equipment. So that is where the cost under those, the money you use for the materials, the labor, and then the equipment That is the direct cost. The indirect cost is the administrative overhead and then the utilities. Then we have the capital expenditures, if applicable. Then we have operating expenses. With the capital expenses, it's just the big equipment purchased. So those the tractors and things you would purchase, that's what comes under the capital expenditures. Next, please. So, and then we have the pricing structure, the unit rates, the lump sum cost, the payment terms goes under the pricing structure. The budget summary. So this simply puts all costs in one table. So it must match the technical plan from before. So all the costs in this budget summary should make sure it matches the technical plan you listed at the beginning. Next, please. The cash flow projection. We have the scheduled of expected expenses and revenues, then it ensures liquidity throughout the project period. I mean, there's always money. You always have to have cash. So that is what it ensures. Then we have the assumptions and exclusions. So key assumptions made in cost estimations. How should I explain it? And then we have any cost excluded from the financial scope. So with the assumptions and exclusions, you should note what was included and what was not included in the budget. Then with the risks and with the excluded financial scope, we have like any extra allowances or inflation or unexpected costs. Next, please. Then we have the risks and contingency plan. So that is what I explained as the any allowance or extra cost. It also goes under the same one from before. So that one, any allowance or inflation or any unexpected cost should be listed there. Then we have the conclusion. And then simply put, the conclusion is you should confirm your cost effectiveness and value. So assure cost effectiveness and value, state your next steps. Examples, the financial negotiations, the contract signing should all be stated in the financial plan. I don't know if Philip is online. Would he want to continue? Or Tina? Philip or Ernestina, anybody? Okay, so then I'll continue.
Hello, good afternoon.
Okay.
So I'll continue with the best practices to use when drafting or writing a financial proposal. Ensure there is clarity and transparency in the cost. Then align your financial figures with your technical activities in order to ensure that you are within your means. You don't overspend. Then use tables, charts, and graphs when necessary for clarity. Then provide justification for each major cost item. Then keep a proposal. The proposal you are working on, let it be realistic. It shouldn't be based on assumption. It should be something real. It should look real to avoid over or underestimation. Thank you.
So, Ernest, we are done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Group 2. Please, can I see your slides again? I must say your work was very detailed. You gave us a good outline. That means I have an outline to use of assessment criteria to assess Accra for their technical proposal as well as financial proposal. But let me also add that in your technical proposal, you talked about budget, bringing the budget in. Please don't always do that, especially with the RFDP that I gave to you. If you all remember, when was it Dennis or Higan? Someone read it yesterday, and it said that you should not include anything financial in the technical proposal. So the moment you do that, please, was someone saying something? Did I miss something? Okay. So the moment you do that, you automatically disqualify. It's just like the expression of interest. If they say, for instance, the organization can say that for an expression of interest, you should, the EOI requirements are that you should provide company profile, including experience in similar projects, CVs of key staff, demonstrated financial capacity, proof of no conflict of interest, and it has to be submitted in English via 31st of August. And your organization submits it on the 1st of September, you are disqualified. Or you submit it on 31st of or 30th of August. Before then, it still does not make you qualify if, for instance, the work is not in English. Then, for instance, as part of the conflict of interest, you have a conflict of interest to declare. No, you have a specific conflict of interest, which is major. Any major conflict of interest, organizations will not take it. However, if you declare it and the field is minor, for instance, you work in a related government agency and they think that it's not going to be in any way affect your work, then they will allow you. Please, let's take note of that. It's the same thing with the technical proposal. They will always give you the structure to follow. If they don't, then you're allowed to use your own structure. So the request for proposal that I've sent to all of you, the areas to cover are listed there. That is the minimum. You should always cover all of them. And then if you want to add, that's fine. If they are saying you shouldn't add, please do not add. Because if you don't meet the criteria, they will just reject it as non-response. Okay, so please let's take note of that. I'll allow for questions from the class. Any questions or comments or suggestions? Please, was this from groups 2 and 3?
No, group 2.
Just group 2, okay.
Group 2, yes.
Please, what's the name of the class rep for Kumasi? Divine, right?
Divine. Yes, I'm here.
Divine, please, at the end of it, I want you to collate everything and send to me via WhatsApp.
Right, I'll do that.
On the class reps page, please.
Okay.
But for the purposes of those in Accra, group 1, please, can you upload it via Zoom so they can all download? Group 2, now that you finished, please upload it via Zoom. Group 1, before you upload, please take off the assessment of the technical part.
Okay.
The technical proposal for me before you upload. All right, but the group 2, they've done a good job. I'm really happy with it. Keep it up. Group 3, I think 3 and 4. Please go on. Please allow me to also say that I like the combination of pictures and words in the presentation of group 2, and they also showed mastery. So they'll give a point and then they will explain it very well. I really enjoyed the presentation. Keep it up. Okay, group 3 and 4, go on.
Good afternoon, Ernest. My name is Bridget. We are group 3 and 4 from Kumasi. Next slide, please.
Good afternoon, Bridget.
Good afternoon, Ernest. So our icebreaker was for everyone to turn on their videos for 10 seconds.
Hey, let me ask them, let's see. Okay.
Was or still is.
It was or still is. Do you still want us to do it?
Yes. Bridget.
You said was.
You need to know, they will disturb you. The noise of the background will disturb you.
No, we still want to see.
Okay, just 10 seconds. It's not a big deal.
Cosmos,
Okay.
show.
Divine.
And how can you?
Background, my background is going to be disturbing them.
Cosmos.
The meeting place.
No, background, if the noise is going to disturb us, then you unmuting, we would have heard it.
That's all. Oh, that's why you are honest. God bless you.
Oh, is that honest? Oh, beautiful. Oh, beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All right, let's go on. So group 3 and 4, we are presenting on evaluation of a technical proposal. And like I mentioned before, my honorable members are there. So basically, evaluating a technical proposal is just like choosing a right doctor for a surgery. You do not just consider the price, but you actually look at their skills, what experience they have, their track record. So the same applies when selecting a proposal for an important project. In today's competitive environment, organizations often receive several technical proposals from different bidders. A technical proposal is more than just a written plan, actually. It reflects the methodology, the resources, the expertise, the timelines that probably the bidder intends to use to deliver the task, actually. But not all proposals are the same. So that's where the evaluation comes in. It comes in to choose the best out of the lots. And these kind of evaluations, when it comes to technicalities, are done in consultancy, in procurement, in engineering, and IT projects, where actually the quality of the decision directly determines the success or the failure of the project. I will end here, and then I will call on Joyful Josephine to continue with the presentation.
Thank you very much. So continuing with the objectives of why we should evaluate, objectives of evaluation. Our first objective is to ensure fairness and transparency. When you are putting out a project for bidding, if you have fairness and transparency, everybody knows how the bidding process is, what went into the bidding process, and everything that goes along with it. Our second one was access to feasibility. It prevents elegant but unworkable solutions. Sometimes people put certain technical terms in their projects to make it sound big, make it look fancy, but proper evaluation will bring out all those points that are not workable in the project that is being submitted for evaluation. The third one is we have to compare against the set criteria. We all know that we give a criteria that every organization is supposed to follow. So in evaluation, we can assess to find out if the companies have followed the set criteria that was given to them. It also helps identify risks and the values of each proposal. We know that certain proposals come with certain risks that may not be seen just looking at it on face value. But when we look at it carefully with proper evaluation techniques, we will be able to identify all the risks and the values that each proposal brings to us. I'll hand over to qualified Quashie to continue from here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Joyful Josephine. I will continue with the objectives of the evaluation. One aspect of the objectives of the evaluation deals with the legal and ethical compliance. Now, the evaluation ensures that the proposed technologies comply with the statutory rules and regulations. A lot of the time, the technical proposal will provide specialized equipment, specialized processes, and there are legal requirements for licensing and certification for some of these technologies. And so, for instance, in a situation where an IT company is providing enterprise level internet service to an institution, their broadcasting equipment, their satellites, their transmitters, and whatnot need to be operating within the frequencies and at a radiation level that is allowed by the National Communications Authority. And the evaluation is likely to detect some of these things. And even in a situation where things like licenses and certification cannot be immediately verified, then the technical proposal will have to provide a guarantee or a warranty that these certifications are there, so that both parties are protected from incurring sanctions for violating our laws. On the ethical compliance side, this applies to the evaluators themselves. The evaluation will help them to disclose any potential or actual conflicts of interest so that it can be managed, and whether there is a need to reconstitute the evaluation team or to deal with the situations of conflict in a proactive and sustainable way. And another aspect of the ethical compliance is dealing with intellectual property protection. This is where proprietary technologies or company secrets or whatever, the evaluation ensures that they are not leaked or compromised. And so, for instance, at the end of the evaluation, you will find that there needs to be an ethical disposal of the proposals which were not selected, and so that it's not reconstituted and other people do not make use of them in their personal businesses or enterprises. And so generally the evaluation as a mechanism of effective governance provides this aspect of legal and ethical compliance to ensure the oversight so that there's transparency and the project goes on without being compromised. And so with this, I will hand over to my colleague, Noble Lan.
Okay, thank you, qualified Quashie. I will take over from the evaluation of the evaluation criteria. Sorry. So in the technical evaluation, in evaluating technical proposals, you have to look at the technical approach and the methodology. Like Josephine mentioned, there should be clarity of what has been put down. There shouldn't be too much of technical terms where the people you are presenting it to cannot be able to interpret it. And then you should be innovative as much as you can. Be creative with what you are presenting. It shouldn't be too normal like everybody does, but then you should be creative with what you are putting down. And then they should align with TOR as well. And the next thing you should do is there should be a work plan and timelines. You shouldn't just leave it vague like that. You should provide timelines as to when the project is likely to be done, and they should be realistic. And then you should be able to deliver on time when the time is up for you to. The next thing you should be looking at is the expertise of the team that are going to perform the duty, if they are qualified, their level of experience, and then their track record. Have they ever done it before? Has there ever been a case study that you can refer to and all of that? And in as much as you are doing that, you should be looking at their past performance, like I said, their track record. You should refer to their past performance. Have they ever done it? Refer to case studies as well that has proven success. And then the next thing you should do is the compliance. Like Quashie mentioned, you should be compliant in everything that you do. You should adhere to requirements, standards, and regulations. Like the legal aspects, you shouldn't just leave it vague as it is. There should be some guidelines, as in rules and regulations guiding you. Thank you. So I would hand over to Dennis and Frida to take over the evaluation process, how the evaluation is done. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll take you through the evaluation process. So the key steps in evaluating proposals, the first one is conducting a preliminary review. What this means is that a quick check of all the proposals, if it meets the requirements you need. So you have to check for missing documents, late submissions, etc. Why this matters is that it saves time by focusing on the qualified candidates. So when you check all those things, it saves you from, going through a bunch of proposals when you can actually sort out the qualified ones. And then the second one is scoring proposals objectively. What this means is that you grade each proposal fairly using clear criteria. So you can use the quality, the cost, and the timeline to grade each proposal so that you can actually choose the qualified ones. So why this matters is that it ensures fairness and transparency so that you can actually choose the best. Then the third one is using multi-factor evaluation. What this means is that you check for the quality, the cost, the delivery time. So quality, their experts, and then the past work, the work that they've done. You compare all those things. Then the cost, you check if it aligns with your budget. And then the delivery time, can they deliver on time? Do they meet deadlines? You check all these to prevent choosing unqualified proposals for your work. And then the fourth one is assigning weight to criteria. What this means is that giving more importance to criteria factors. So this one, you have to actually grade. So maybe you give quality 50%, delivery time 30%, and then cost 20%. So after everything, you check and do calculations, then you wait to choose the best one. Considering overall value for money. See, money is important in all of this, so you have to check for all those things. Picking the best offers long term, not just lower prices. So you compare the weight, cost, you compare the weight, the cost, the budget, everything, so that you can actually align your work. So the next person can continue. Thank you.
Cosmos, please, can you continue? Okay, so I will take that. So this is an example or a sample of
Hello.
Okay, Cosmos.
Okay,
continue.
sorry. I am also taking from slide number 8. That is what you see on the screen, the scoring system. That is the sample that we have over there. In this case, the likelihood of getting more than one person or one company bidding for the job to be done is higher because the bid is open, the tender is open, it's not restrictive. So likelihood of getting more companies to bid is higher. So when you get one or more company bidding for the job to be done, there must be a criteria for the selection so that you can make a fair choice or a fair selection to get the right company to execute the job. And there must be a scoring system. It's like a football team. When you are playing the league, if without a scoring system, you may not get the winner. So for you to reduce biasness and other stuff, this will help you very much. And with regards to the table that you are seeing on the screen, the criteria aspect, that's the technical approach, the management approach, the past performance, the price, and other stuff. Every aspect that is your track record, being the company that you want to execute the contract. We need to know your track record in the system. And with this thing, it has to be a data backing for us to see the criteria that you fall within. This is the 20% as an example. When you go to the price aspect, that is where you get the value for money. Once there are more companies bidding, some will be bidding higher, or some will go in higher than the other. So like we have it, proposal 1, proposal 2, proposal 3. If proposal 1 is going for maybe 10K, the likelihood of proposal 2 giving a different amount will be higher. Maybe proposal 2 will also be giving 15K. Roughly, maybe proposal 3 will be giving maybe 5K. In this context, that you evaluate to see which one is best to save money or to suit the job that you are requesting for. So a scoring system helps most in terms of selecting or getting a qualified or the appropriate company to execute a project that let's say institution or whoever is trying to execute. And every score has to go with a percentage, and this is what you have, that is the 100%. So let's say if at the end of the day, the 3 companies, proposal 2 is able to secure maybe 70%, proposal 1 is able to secure maybe 75%, proposal 3 is able to secure roughly maybe 10%. It means at the end of the day, the one who secured the higher percentage, that is the proposal 2, is likely to be selected. And this is the fair thing that can be done. It can be done to help select the right company to execute the project. In this case, then I hand over to my colleague to also continue from there. Thank you very much.
All right, so I'll also be looking at the challenges in evaluation. So during the evaluation process, there are some challenges that are faced individually or as a group or as evaluators during that process. One, that is 0 point, is bias. During the evaluation process, bias occurs when personal preferences and assumptions or pre-influences the evaluation process. That is, maybe there's one proposal or a colleague or a friend who has submitted Cosmos, please can you proposal that the person submitted one of the proposals and you know the person or have some friendship or bond with the person, or the person has given you a cut somewhere. If you don't take care, you be skewed to that person's proposal and give the best to the person rather than focusing on the current merit. When this is done, it distorts the results and it leads to unfair assessment of the evaluation. Thank you very much, Eliano, for highlighting conflict of interest. So it links to the biasness. The next one is subjectivity. So if you don't focus on the topic or the proposal heading that was given, so assuming you are looking for cost or timelines with respect to a proposal, and they give a broader one, or there's a bypass from an evaluator due to friendliness or knowing one of the evaluators, they can also come into the system and be subjective to overruling everyone else's proposal. The second one is lack of clarity. So when we say lack of clarity, it refers to goals that are not defined well, that is unclear expectations, not set when evaluators are on board. When this happens, evaluators may interpret criteria differently, and it can lead to inconsistent judgment from them. So to avoid this, we have to establish a clear, measurable goals like the scoring sheet that was shared initially, and communicate them effectively before the evaluation begins. The next one is overemphasis on metrics. So if we look at the metrics that we all seen or have seen from previous slides, it focuses more on quantitative data, that is cost, timeline, and it ignores the qualitative data part of the proposal, that is the team capability or adaptability. So when this is done, when this metric is overemphasized, we miss out on team dynamics or innovation. We miss out on team capability if they can even really do the job, because we are focusing more on cost and timeline. So the solution to this is also have a balanced metrics with narrative evaluation and an understanding of the context they are bringing. The last one, which is timing, sometimes the urgency on a project completion can make evaluation conducted too early or too late. When this is done, we miss out on long-term potentials, or when the late ones come in, we miss out on irrelevant dates. A clear example is when a proposal is submitted, and due to timelines, you get to the technical drawings or appendix, and then you just skim through, not really have a good look at it because of the time pressure. And a solution to this is also to allocate and align sufficient evaluation timing. With regards to this, when evaluating a technical proposal, it requires a careful balance of expertise, structure, and time. Thank you very much. Abraham, continue from here.
Thank you. Yeah, so I will be taking this slide. And for us as group 3 and 4, we believe that in carrying on evaluation, there are best practices that one can adopt in order to be able to, at the end of the day, be successful. And we have the belief that it is good to establish a clear, and that's the first point, you need to define a clear criteria in carrying on your evaluation. And that is to say that you need to develop specific guidelines to guide you in carrying on that evaluation. And it should be measurable, it should be attainable, relevant, and time-bound. That is aligned to the project objective and the technical requirement of whatever you want to evaluate. The next thing we are also saying is that you need to, and that's one, the next best practices that one can also adopt, you need to use independent evaluation panel. This is to say that the team you set up or you establish to evaluate the proposal, you need to ensure that you get the competent people with the right expertise. So you cannot just assemble any other person to carry this. You need to assemble a competent team that have diverse experiences from the activity you want them to work on, so that at the end of the day, they should be able to come out with something that can be comprehensive to enable you carry on the project. The next thing we also consider is that the one best practice is also apply standardized scoring templates. You will see that just like my colleagues made mention the scoring system, you should have a standard basis or standard system in scoring everyone. You cannot maybe for company A or B have a different way of measuring them. Then when you get to the next one, you have a different system. No, it should be standardized. It should be one system that can be used to measure all, so that at the end of the day, whatever you are going to get will be fair. But if you have different systems of measuring or scoring them, at the end of the day, that will not be the best. So the best practice is for us to so the best practice for you to do is to ensure a standardized system in scoring them. The next thing you have to also ensure is to The next best practice to adopt is also to ensure confidentiality and transparency. So we are saying that this cannot be done in a vacuum. You have to ensure that during the processes of your evaluation, you should document every process. Every step you take, it should be documented. And the entire process should be documented. The decisions of scoring should be documented, and the justification to ensure that at the end of the day, there is transparency and accountability in your activity. We also expect that at the end of the process, you should be able to provide feedback to the bidders, whether they are successful or unsuccessful. You see, if you fail to provide feedback to them, some will still maybe expecting that you are yet to complete your process. But if they are not successful, at least you should be able to communicate to them, telling them of their inability to go through the process. And I think that will serve better for your organization and also to satisfy organization that might have not met the bid. I think that's the last. Can you continue? So in conclusion, I will just...
Okay. I'm here.
Okay. Okay, then continue.
Okay. So in conclusion, we are saying that evaluation of technical proposals ensure value, quality, and fairness. By evaluating proposals systematically, an organization can select the best option that provide the best balance between cost and benefits. Then carefully assessment of technical details also ensures that only proposals capable of delivering high quality results are considered. And using clear criteria provides bias or favoritism. All bidders are judged by the same standard, which increase transparency and trust. So the second one is strong proposals balance technical soundness, feasibility, and innovation. So technical soundness, the proposal must correctly address the problem using proven methods and accurate information. Then ideas must be realistic in terms of budget, resource, and timeline. Then innovation should adding creativity or modern solution can also make a proposal stand out. Then the third one is a structured evaluation process, safeguards organizational and project success. So structured evaluation means using set criteria, scoring systems, and documented procedures rather than random judgment. Then the process helps organizations avoid costly mistakes like hiring an unqualified contractor. It also increases accountability. Decisions are backed by evidence and not just personal opinions. So in the end, this reduced risk. It also ensures compliance with regulations and increase the likelihood of project success. So this is the end of our presentation for Group 3 and 4. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Groups 3 and 4. Can I take questions, comments, clarifications before I come in? Class, let's learn to ask questions to clarify. Okay, so please, since this is a question, class, no, Groups 3 and 4, please go to your title. I'm just going to do a quick examination in class to see whether they understood it. Evaluation of technical proposal. Did you add the financial proposal to it as well? Yes, right?
No,
Another group was supposed to do that, please.
We are handling that. Group 5, we are doing the financial proposal.
Okay, so please let me look at your outline. Evaluation of technical proposal. Okay. Well, next one. Next one. Next one. Okay, that's fine. I'll do a quick exams in class for us to see whether, please give me a minute, whether everyone was in class. So please be ready for a quick poll in 2 minutes. But if there's a question, I'm ready for it. If there's a question, I'm ready for it. No questions? Okay, so give me a minute. I'm just setting up my poll. Please, host, can you make me a co-host? Host. Hello, host. Bismarck, please, who is hosting us? Bismarck. Divine.
Yes, I think you're a co-host.
No, I'm a co-host on the phone, but
Oh,
not on laptop.
okay.
I'm
So,
rather using the laptop.
okay, please, I'm calling Seth to do that right away.
Yes, please, so I can activate the short poll. So whilst waiting for Seth to set us up, please, groups 3 and 4, kindly pull down your slides for me. I want to add on. You did a good job, I have to say. There's an aspect which is very technical. You didn't do it, but that's fine. Even if you did it, I was going to go over it, so that's okay. So now let me share. I hope everyone can see. What am I sharing? Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, Ernest. Yes, please.
Okay.
No problem.
Oh. Please check again. Can you see?
Yes, please.
Yes, bro.
Okay.
Office. Yes, you can
Okay.
see.
Okay, great. All right. So, yes, they've tackled everything, but there's a technical aspect which they didn't cover that I'm going to add. So I'll start with the general and I'll go into the technical. So anytime we do the shortlisting of the EI, we send requests to those who have been shortlisted for them to submit their technical and financial proposal. We have the 2 envelope system. 2 envelope system means that you put the financial proposal in a different envelope, the technical proposal in a different envelope. And under no circumstances should they be in the same envelope. Then there's a 3 envelope system where you put the technical in an envelope, seal it, the financial in an envelope, seal it, and both of them, you put them in a larger envelope.
Honest, it's been done.
Oh, thank you. But I was talking, did you hear me?
I think you went off for a while.
I just realized that the host asked me to mute. Okay, so then let me start again. So did you hear about the 2 envelope system that I spoke about?
Yes, please.
Okay, then that's fine. Thank you very much, host. Let me check. Okay, good. I'm co-host for both. So with the assessment, now when we ask you to submit by a deadline, you don't meet the deadline, you are disqualified. If we ask that you should have a minimum of 10 years experience and you have 8 years, you are disqualified. If we ask that the submission should be in English, you put yours in French, you are disqualified. So anything that you don't meet, we take you out. Then we evaluate those who make the minimum. So now we will set up a technical committee, and that technical committee will handle the whole evaluation of the proposal. Remember, we do evaluation for the EI, we also do evaluation of the proposals. We first of all evaluate the technical proposal before the financial proposal. So when we are evaluating the technical proposals, we do not open the financial proposals. So the technical committee will allocate the points and scoring system as they have specified in the ITC data sheet. That is the information to consultants data sheet. So everything will be there. That's why it's very important that when you are preparing your technical financial proposals, you should be guided by the ITC data sheet. At this point, like I said, no access to financial proposals. And we review the proposals. The review of the proposals is done by the client organization. Either they set up their own technical committee or they want to employ other consultants to do it, whatever means, or management, whatever means they want to do it, they would decide. So we reject all non-responsive and then non-acceptable proposals. So example, they score below a minimum threshold. So just like in exams, we say if you score below 50, you failed. They can also say below 60 or below 50 is non-acceptable. Or those who did not respond early in time, did not meet the deadline, we also classify them as non-responsive. And once we reject it, we can give notification that we've rejected your work or your technical proposal did not meet the minimum acceptable score. Then we notify all those successful consultants upon opening their financial proposals. But that is not until we have done the technical evaluation. So those who meet the minimum threshold, we evaluate all of them. So if it's 6 or 10 or 12, we evaluate all of them, giving them the various points. So if maybe on the basis of competencies 10, maybe it's scored 8. On the basis of whatever, then they give you the points. We have the total for each one. Those who meet the minimum, even with this, they can still say that for you to progress to as opening your financial statement, maybe you should have a minimum score of 60. So all those who met the minimum score of 60, we call them that yes, your technical proposal made it. Now we are going to open the financial proposal. The financial proposal, we always notify the consultant. The technical proposals, we don't notify the consultant. So in opening the technical proposal, we allow them to be there. Now, we finish with the technical proposals, we come to the financial proposals. With the financial proposals, it's public opening. So we have a big screen. We have the names of each of the consultants that made it above the threshold. We write every score that they got, the total score that they got for each one of them. And then we open their financial proposals to start scoring. So we write the names, the technical scores, and the prizes. We quote the final price of each of the financial proposals of the technical proposals that have made it so far. Those who did not respond with financial proposals, we take them out. Sometimes in sending the proposals, some will send the technical proposals for them to send the financial proposals later. But if at this stage you've not sent it, you're out. Then the currency conversion, if we have to convert any currencies, it's at this stage that we do it, so then we have the same basis for us to say this one is better than that. Then we use the scoring method that the organization identified in the ITC data sheet, which is part of the request for proposal, which is within the request for proposal. So everything we're going to do, there's transparency. It's there. You are there. We are going to use the same thing we gave to you to score you. Then we score. So then now we have our technical scores and our financial scores. In some cases, most cases, and I'll tell you which cases, in accordance with the selection method, there are various selection methods, which I'm going to tell you very soon. And this one will always be stated in the ITC data sheet. We do what we call combined evaluation. So combined evaluation means we've done the technical, we've done the financial, and then we take the average of the two, and that will be your combined evaluation score. So whoever did well, we use that one. So these are the methods that have been summarized in the table. The procedures of proposal evaluation and the selection procedures. Okay, so we have the QCBS, QBS, fixed budget, least cost, qualification, single source, and sole sourcing. Sole sourcing you can't find, but we are going to look at it very soon. QCBS means quality and cost-based selection. Quality cost-based selection, or some also call it quality and cost-based selection. This is where we do the combined evaluation. So for the quality cost-based selection procedure, we evaluate the technical proposal first, we allocate points, and then we score. And then those who meet the minimum criteria, we open their financial evaluation and we score. If your technical proposal does not meet the minimum, we do not open your financial proposal. And then we do the combined evaluation, that is the weighted score. We give the weights of the two. And that the selection of the winning firm, we give the highest combined score. So the one with the highest combined score gets the award of the project or contract. With the QBS, which is quality-based selection, we first of all, just like the quality cost-based, please let me go back to the quality cost-based. The quality is always looking at it in terms of the technical proposal. The cost is looking at it in terms of the financial proposal. So it's about the quality and the cost, the quality of the technical proposal and the cost of the financial put together for the first one. The second one, QBS, is looking at quality-based selection. Quality means we are only looking at the technical score. That is what is of utmost importance to us. There are various reasons why we do that, especially if cost is not the problem, but we need people of high quality, and that is problematic. Then we use a quality-based selection. So the quality-based selection, our focus is so much on the technical. So first of all, we open the technical proposal, we allocate points, and then we score. Then when we score, we look at the highest technical score and we open the financial proposal. So let's say 4 organizations were scored. One had 85, one had 93, the other had 96. We'll open the financial proposal of the 96, and then we give the award to that person, because our focus is on the quality and not the cost. Please, I hope it's clear.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
All right. Thank you so much for responding. Now, we also have a selection procedure or method that we call the fixed budget. With the fixed budget, the organization will indicate in their request for proposal that we have a fixed budget of, let's say, $30,000. The moment you hear the fixed budget, or they indicate in their ITC that we are going to use the fixed budget approach, they will give you an amount. So their resources are fixed. It's $30,000. If this is the case, this is how they would evaluate the proposals. First of all, they'll open the technical. Once we open the technical proposal, we allocate points and then we score. Then, all those who had the right scores above the threshold, let's use the same 3 that we used for the first one. So 85, 93, 96. They qualify for their financial evaluations to be financial proposals to be evaluated. Now we open all the financial proposals, but we will only look at the financial proposals that are within our budget of $30,000. So if out of the 3, one has a financial proposal that has a total financial proposal of 31,000, and then another has maybe 28,000, another has just 30,000. This is what we do. The one with 31,000 is automatically out. We drop it. So then it gives us just 2 organizations, 2 technical proposals we're looking at. So because both of them are within the 30,000 that we can allow for, we can afford, we'll pick the highest technical scores out of the remaining that have their budget within our fixed budget. Please, is this one clear?
Yes, Annette.
Yes, please, Honest.
Honest.
I have just 2
Very
people. Yes. Okay, 3 people.
Yes, please.
Yes, 4 people. 5.
Yes.
Honest,
Yes,
I have a question.
okay, someone has a question, please.
They are saying yes, you have a question.
Please go on with the question.
In the case you're unable to find anybody whose budget falls within the fixed budget, do you go back to the selection process again to have a new set of, people whose technical proposal pass, then you select their financial proposal?
No. And that is on the next slide. So let me flag your question on the next slide. I'm going to handle in the instances where no consulting firm meets our criteria, what we do. So please, let me flag it, but I'll answer it, okay, on the next slide.
All right, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions on this? Any other? Okay. Now there's another selection procedure we call the least cost. The least cost, and that is what Ghana practices a lot everywhere in the public sector. Least cost, least cost. So the least cost, you are looking out for the cost that is the cheapest to the organization. The question will be, how cheap is your cheap? or which cost is cheap. Some cheap costs are really expensive though. So here our focus is on the cost and not so much on the quality. Yes, we want the quality, but then the quality should come with cost. So we still open the technical evaluations, we allocate points and scores. Then those that meet the criteria, we open their financial proposals, and then we give it to the one with the least. Please, it's not minimum technical score, it's minimum. Please let me just do this because I always, okay, it's a picture, I have to change it. Please, it's not minimum technical score, it's minimum financial score. My apologies. Please, is it clear enough? The least cost. So we open the technical, we give points, we score, and then we allocate, we look at the financial proposal, those that have had their technical scores going through. Then we look at all of them. We look at the one with the cheapest, the least cost. Okay. Then we give it to that person. So then there's no combined evaluation here. Once we look at the technical, we look at those with the one with the cheapest, then we allocate. A question could also come, so how about two people have the same score? Then we'll revert back to the technical. So if you have the same score, for instance, for the cheapest, we look at the one with the highest technical and then we give it to that person because you all are charging the same price. Then another selection procedure is qualification. So qualification-based selection procedure. This one, we use it in instances where qualification is paramount. In instances where we don't have people who can do it. So for instance, at a point in time, it was only Dr. Frimpong who could do heart surgery. In that case, when we have a noble person in the country who needs surgery, it's not only noble, anyone at all, you are not going to be looking at cost, you'll be looking at the qualification. And so with the qualification, we don't look at technical proposal, financial proposal. We just look at, we select the firm with the best qualification. So we look at your proposal, and if you are the firm who has the best qualification, we give it to you. So we don't even request for technical financial proposal most of the time. But in the case that we even request for it, that will not be the basis of our evaluation. It's the qualification that will be the basis of your selection. Then we have single sourcing. Before I go on single sourcing, please go online, get me single sourcing and sole sourcing, and I want to know the difference from you. What is the difference between single sourcing and sole sourcing? Please, let's go online.
Single source, single source, single source, single source.
Please, anyone ready to share?
Single source, single source.
Prof, I think I was thinking it is the same thing.
You're thinking it's the same thing. Please go online and see if your thinking is right.
Single sourcing is a procurement, it's in procurement.
Can I read?
Please, you said a single sourcing and sole sourcing.
Yes, please go on.
Okay, so single sourcing, it's a deliberate procurement strategy where a company chooses to buy a product or service from one specific supplier, even though there are other suppliers available in the market. And the reason is that often done to build a strategic partnership, ensure consistency in quality, get better pricing through volume, or simplify logistics. Basically, it's a choice. It's not a necessity. And then the sole sourcing is a situation where a company has no alternative supplier because only one supplier is capable of providing the required product or service. This may be due to unique intellectual property rights, patents, proprietary technology, or extremely specialized expertise. Basically, it's a necessity, not a choice.
Thank you, Bridget. Okay, before I come and explain Bridget's reading, let me go to Divine. Divine, your hand is up.
Yes, Ernest. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
The class is scheduled to close at 2, so I want to know whether you extend for some time.
Yes, please. I want our people to present first. If you don't present, I'll be forced to have another class in the course of this week, which is not possible.
Oh, Ernest, we have the whole time. We have the whole time for you. So.
Okay. Thank you. So please, Divine and Bismarck, let your class know. We just go beyond our time.
That's fine,
okay.
Sure.
Thank you so much. So as Bridget rightly read, please, unless anyone has anything contrary to what she read. So with single sourcing, it's not that we don't have alternatives. It's just that we have decided that we want company C to do this work for us. And it could be so many reasons. It could be that we've worked with them in the past before and they were very effective. It could be that we don't have enough time to do competitive tendering. So once someone has recommended them that they are good, we are going for them. So it's not that it's of necessity we must use company C. There are other options, but we decide to go with company C. Maybe we also like how they go about their things. So it's just like maybe there's different kinds of laptop brands. So we have HP, Lenovo, Apple, and the others. And for you, consistently you go for a particular brand. That's single sourcing. It's not that the other brands are no good, but that's what you prefer. That's single sourcing. For sole sourcing, you don't have an option. Just like you're in Ghana and it's only ECG that produces electricity. So you don't have an option. In UK, other places, they have options so they can switch. Can you give me an example of companies that are likely, we are likely to have sole sourcing with them because they are the only company that does that in Ghana? Can you think?
Ernest.
Yes, please.
So assuming maybe you do your operations in let's say a village where it's only MTN network that is stable there. And then for that reason you are forced to use MTN even though it's expensive. Is that sole sourcing or single sourcing?
Sole sourcing, because in that village, if you decide to go for Cgsl, it wouldn't work. So the circumstances have made MTN sole sourcing.
Okay, so what about if maybe you are on campus and whatever item that you want to procure, there's a lot on the market. However, there's one at Ayediasi Gate, and you choose proximity to buy from there, even though there are some in town, and it's even cheaper. Is that one true single sourcing or sole sourcing?
That is single sourcing because there are options.
Okay.
Big level. So, for instance, on campus we have MTN, we have Cgsl, but TNS is most likely to go with Cgsl because Cgsl, for instance, has given all the staff chips and then they give us data and do they give us credit? I don't know. Maybe. And then all students also have the Telecel SIM card. I hope you all have it.
Yes.
Great. So we are likely to choose Telecel. And that will be single sourcing, not sole sourcing. Because there's MTN, there are other telcos. But because of the convenience because students and staff all have Telecel, we decided to go with Telecel. That one is single sourcing, not sole sourcing. Okay. All right.
Example of
Idrisu, go on.
yes, thank you. Example of sole sourcing
Right.
in Ghana, ECG and Ghana Water Company.
Ghana Water, yes.
And then Ghana Electricity Company.
Electricity Company. Thank you. Unless you are going to come up with your own borehole, if you want, is someone saying something else? Okay, so there are no other options to this. All right, so that's the difference between single sourcing and sole sourcing. Okay, so in single sourcing and sole sourcing, we invite the firm and then we give it to the firm. Because, for instance, single sourcing, we've decided we want to go with Telecel. So we give them, this is our request for proposal, just bring it, they bring it in. If you are not happy with their financial proposal, it's just a matter of negotiating with them. We still give it to them. Sole sourcing is a matter of you are doing it or you are not doing it because there's no other option. So you invite the firm to submit their technical and financial proposal, you give it to them. Or you negotiate with them where possible and then you give it to them. There's no other option. Okay, so most of these techniques are based on competitive bidding, where we allow so many. The first selection criteria we always consider is the QCBS. In the absence of it, we consider the QDS and then the other methods. We use a fixed method, please. We use the fixed method anytime you see a request for proposal and there's an amount indicated. The selection method should be fixed budget, not QCBS or QDS, in case something like this comes to exams. Please, are we okay with the selection procedures? Now, I know the financial people are going to present, but briefly, let me just finish with this. So once we've done with the technical and financial proposal evaluation, we invite the consulting firm that won it. Then we negotiate. There are so many areas we can negotiate on. We can negotiate on the staffing. Can you cut down on the staffing or can you improve the staffing in this area? We can negotiate on the methodology because we've read a number of technical proposals and some of them we like their methodology, but we didn't like every other thing. So we can propose the methodologies from others that we rejected. Can you rather use this methodology or change this aspect of the methodology? Yes, it's allowed. Anything at all can be negotiated on. And once we negotiate on anything, it affects the terms of reference that the organization wrote as part of their RFP. So they also have to modify it. Maybe some objectives have been added or one objective has been taken off. We had 5 objectives, but the cost is too much. So why don't you take the last objective? Because so then we can spare some money. So then we have to revise our two staffing schedules can be negotiated on, the client's input, the consultant's output, the financial, the activity schedule, the skill transfer. Always make sure that please when the consultancy comes in, you have a skill transfer where they have workshops and train your people and transfer knowledge to them is very important. And then we have our final terms of reference, our agreed methodology, which will be part of the contract, then we sign. In the instance where negotiation fails, please, at this point, all those who score beyond the minimum threshold with their technical scores, financial scores, please, you do not call that they were not successful until you finish negotiation. If the negotiation is successful, then you inform the others that I'm sorry you couldn't make it because negotiation could fail. If negotiation fails, you fall on the second best consultant firm, and then if that fails, the third best until you get your final one. But as soon as negotiation is successful or successfully completed, you must inform the other firms that they were not successful. Now, the question that I've forgotten one lady asked, we have situations where all proposals to be non-responsive. They did not even respond. They did not meet the deadline. What do we do? Or the costs are substantially higher than the allocated budget. Then there is a need for re-invitation. So you open the request for proposal again and ask that consultants should submit proposal in response to the new RFP. That is because maybe some consultant firms were interested, but because they knew they can't work with that amount, that's why they didn't come in. So it will not be fair to just use those who have submitted. It will not be fair. So if they are interested, the organization can say they can write a letter to say that the technical and financial proposals that they submitted, they are tendering it in for this one, or they tender in a new one. The organization will have to decide that. Okay, so they do re-invitation. So re-invitation may include revising our request for proposal because we were demanding so much and the so much is costing us so much, or revising our budget. We said 30,000, 30,000, we realize that they are all going beyond the 30,000. So now we are going to make it maybe 38,000 or whatever amount. Okay, and then it could also mean that we are revising our short listing. Maybe we were too, the criteria we used was too strict, too hard for clients to meet, so we can revise it. Please, the one who asked questions, have I answered your question? Someone asked a question on this. Okay, great. Confidentiality. It's a must. We don't disclose to the consultants who submitted proposal. The only time we call them in is when they are opening their financial proposal. That one is open to the public, so they can come in. The ICC, we're talking about it. Okay, any questions on what I have presented in addition to groups 3 and 4's work? Okay, let's say group 5, please. I've not forgotten about my quiz. Yes, go on, Divine.
My question is, when the company gets a successful client, do they have to state the reason the others fail to them, or just tell them that they failed? I want to know the clarity, how to go about it. You have to tell them that maybe you failed based on their financial, or you just tell them that they failed. Thank you.
Most organizations will just say that they failed, but others will also let you know that for technical, you scored this much. For financial, you scored this much. But they wouldn't tell you how others scored.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, you're welcome. Financial, please, your PowerPoint. Group 5, are you not ready? Group 5, please. Akran is really up. Okay, if group 5 is not ready, please, Akran.
Hi, Annette. Please, we are sharing on screen. We don't know if you can see.
No, we can't see anything.
Oh, let me reshare. Please, is the screen visible now?
Let me see. Yes. Put it in slide mode, yes.
Okay.
But then it means that I've done most of your work for you. Okay, you go on.
Okay. Please, Junior Gina will start for us.
Hello, guys. Please, we are going to start with our icebreaker. And so today being Sunday and we all couldn't go to church, Group 5 would like to sing for you so that at least we'll still enjoy church while we are home. Okay, so please, guys, unmute and let's sing. Ready? Go. And his name
What?
is
Name. What? Name. And it
and dip
and dip
and
and
dip and dip
and
was
came out.
Hey, my Sunday school teacher, bro. Yeah.
They should have given me hear the song. I don't know. I don't even know what. I don't know the song. And his name was Naaman. And his name was Naaman. And he dip and dip and he came out whole.
So you put your video on and then you do the action and then we will see.
This is great. During my time, my Sunday school teacher didn't teach me. Me too.
Okay, please. So, Shafwa will begin the introduction for us, and then we'll all continue. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, Anes. Good afternoon, class. So, we are members of Group 5, and we are presenting on the financial proposal evaluation. We have the list of our honorable members here, so we'll skip straight to the introduction. So, per the presentation from Group 3 and 4, realize that alongside the technical proposal, there's also the financial proposal. And just as you have gone over it, you would assess the technical proposal and then also the financial proposal. Now, basically, this is just the budget part of the whole project. We want to see if the client firm can afford the services of the consultants. So essentially, we are looking at how the client firm is going to review and then analyze the costs for the bids that they got from the proposals that went out. So if we are to go into the technical terms, we want to understand if the cost aspect of the proposal most accurately captures the technical proposals that the consultant firm is presenting to the client firm. And one thing we have to notice is that in this instance, it's not always the case that the client firm is looking to pick the cheapest option. The goal rather is to see if what the firm is offering is reasonable. By that, we mean that is it within the market benchmarks? Is the amount overbloated? We're also looking to see if the amount proposed is transparent. Is it, when broken down, does it have any hidden costs? We're also looking at feasibility. Is it realistic for the scope of work? You are giving us your technical proposal, but if you look at your cost, does it really tally? Is what you are giving us too much for the kind of work you are going to give us? And then also look at the value for money. That is the right balance of cost and then the quality. So here, we realize that generally, for the sake of transparency's sake, because we know that you are not, maybe in some cases, it's not just one firm that is going to send in their technical proposal and their financial proposal. So because of that, there are usually guidelines as to what are to be considered in the financial evaluation. These are usually the general steps. First, there is the opening and receipt of proposal, like we've already mentioned. And then when it comes to the actual financial proposal evaluation, we look at the compliance check, we look at the cost breakdown, we also look at the cost reasonableness. There's also the cost comparison, since we are getting from a number of competitors. We also have financial capacity and sustainability. We look at value for money. And one important thing is also risk assessment. And then sometimes there are scoring and rating. And in some cases, as the case may be, there are further negotiations and then finally the selection of the best financial proposal. So in this case, we have 5 main criteria that we focus on for the financial proposal evaluation. And these 5 are the compliance check and strategic alignment, the cost reasonableness and market comparison, the financial capacity and sustainability. The 4th one is value for money, and then lastly, the risk assessment. So these are the 5 key things that we are going to focus on in our presentation as far as the financial proposal evaluation is concerned. So I will leave it here and move on to the first one, which is compliance check and strategic alignment for the team to continue. Thank you.
Bennett, please, if you are here, can you continue for us with the compliance check and strategic alignment? Okay, if Bennett is not here, then I would like to continue. So when we talk about compliance checks and strategic alignment, the idea is to make sure that what we are doing that doesn't just follow the rules, but also support the bigger goals of the organization. Compliance checks help us stay on the right side of the regulations and policies. And while strategic alignment ensures that these efforts actually contribute to efficiency, risk reduction, and long-term success. So please, next slide. So compliance check is the first step. We make sure that document proposals or submissions meet basic requirements. That means checking formats, making sure signatures are in place, and ensuring deadlines are respected. If these are missing, the proposal can't move on. Then we move on to cost reasonableness. So once compliance is confirmed, we look at the costs. Are the prices realistic? Are they competitive when compared to the market? This helps us to avoid inflated or suspiciously low figures. And then we move on to value for money. So it's not just about how choosing the cheapest option here. We weigh the cost against quality. The best proposal is usually the one that delivers the most benefit for the price, not necessarily the lowest cost, but the best balance. Then we go to financial capacity. So we check the strength of the bidder. So do they have the cash flow and liquidity to deliver on the contract? A financial weak bidder may pose a risk to project completion. Then we go on to risk assessment. We identify any hidden costs and unrealistic assumptions. So finally, please, so the comparison and ranking. So we score and rank proposals comparing to other proposals that have been submitted, and then we choose the best option out of it. Please, the next slide. Okay. So I think I already talked about costs. Okay, so please, my colleague will continue here with the cost reasonableness. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Gina. I'll take it from here. Cost reasonableness is all about checking if the costs quoted in a financial proposal are fair, justifiable, and realistic given the scope of work. And this includes market benchmarking. So here, you compare the proposal prices with prevailing market rates. And the next one is historic data. And this one too, you need to check the prices against previous contracts or projects of similar nature. The next one is input-output relations. This you ensure that the resources budgeted, like materials, equipment, staff, and so on, are consistent with the level of work that is required. The next one is no pricing or underpricing. When there is no overpricing or underpricing. So when there is overpricing, it leads to risk of waste of money or funds. And also when there is overpricing, it leads to risk of wasting of funds. And also when there is underpricing, it leads to poor quality, or the contractor may fail at the middle of the project. Example is if a contractor quotes 500 cedis per day for a driver or a mason or whoever, when the market rate is 100 cedis or 150 cedis, the quote that the contractor quotes is not reasonable. It's not realistic. The next one is cost comparison. And this one, you need to compare proposals against each other to identify which offers the best value for money. This also includes side-by-side comparison. You have to put all financial proposals in a matrix for clear visibility. Use cost comparison. Compare per unit rate, example, cost of service, cost per person or kilo, and so on. And then total cost comparison. The evaluator will look at the overall budget across bidders, since there will be not one bidder. It will be more than one, so the evaluator should look at the overall budget across all bidders and then adjust costs. There may be hidden charges, tax implications, and discounts, and that one too must be considered. And scoring system. Oftentimes, the lowest evaluated cost gets the highest score, but must balance with technical score. Example is when you have bidder A that charges 100,000 with good technical proposal, and then bidder B charges 85,000 but has unrealistic staffing costs, and then bidder C charges 95,000 cedis and it's realistic and efficient. Most times the bidder C might win because it balances reasonable assets and it's reasonable. That one is reasonable. So in all, cost reasonableness is the price fair, realistic compared to market and scope. And cost comparison is how does this bidder's price take against others. I think I will stop here and ask my colleagues to continue. Hello, Felix.
Yes. Thank you, my sister. As I hand over the baton has been handed over to me. We are going to look at the financial capacity and sustainability. Here, we focus on whether the bidder has the financial strength, stability, and systems to implement the project reliably. It also answers questions like, can the contractor fund the work until payment is received? Do they have the financial health to handle delays, inflations, or unforeseen issues? It also answers questions like, will they be around long enough to support future maintenance or service continuity? So under these criteria, the evaluator review the audit statement, that's the balance sheet and income statement, And also check working capital. Do they have enough working capital as to the current assets and the current liabilities to cover initial project expenses, especially if payments are delayed? Another thing is also the cash flow. Can they handle delays? Assess their ability to manage cash flow cycles, especially if the project requires upfront investment. And also look at their track records. They have their track records, the history of financial stability. Have they had any insolvency issues or bankruptcies or major financial disputes? Have they ever been abandoned or delayed projects due to funding problems? And also, we look at the long-term support. That's the sustainability practices. Can they maintain services over time? You also look at whether the company's business is sustainable. If the project has future obligations, example, maintenance, service contracts, are they structured to fulfill them? So yeah, I'll hand over the baton to my sister Genius, Gigi.
Okay, so we move on to value for money. So here, the first look at how they are going to get value for the money. And so they don't do that just on the face value. There are certain things that they look out for. So the first one we're going to talk about is cost transparency and fairness. So here, the first wants a breakdown of fees. They don't just want a lump sum. They want you to break down, this is for this is for that. Yes, so that's what they want. They want a breakdown of fees, the transparency and everything to avoid hidden costs and all of that. And then we talk about quantified benefits. So they use things like revenue growth, efficiency improvement to weigh the benefits that they are going to get. So for example, a client will want to know how the consultant service will improve a challenge or difficulty they are facing in a way that is quantified. So for example, the consultant promises to, at the end of their training or what they are doing, maybe they will increase their revenue to help the company increase their revenue growth by 25%. That is quantifiable. So they look at all of those things as well. And then we move on to cost benefits. So here they use metrics like ROI, that's return on investment, net present value, and others to weigh the benefits that they are getting, whether the benefits they are getting is higher than the amount that they are paying to the consultant. So in a case where a consultant promises to deliver or maybe help the company to increase their revenue by 25% in the year, and then they are paying the consultant from about maybe 5% of their total revenue in that year, that means they are getting value for their money. That is a higher return on investment. So they look at all that as well. So please move on to the next slide. Okay, so life cycle and hidden costs. We've talked about hidden costs extensively in the previous slide. Yes, so the firm also wants to know all the costs. They don't want any surprises. So they want to know all the hidden costs. And then risk-adjusted returns also. They want to know how the consultant is going to manage risk. They want to know whether they have a contingency plan, because if you start a project and something pops up and you don't have any plan for that, that means it's going to halt the project or it's going to incur additional costs, and they don't want that. So they want to see how you are going to mitigate your risk. And then long-term strategic value. So they also look beyond just the short term. How are you going to ensure that maybe in the future? So for example, if a consultant promises to maybe come back and check whether what they did is still going on, is still efficient, maybe they promises them some warranty or something, then a client is more likely to go in for somebody like that who can help them in the long term. Okay, please move on to the next slide. Okay, so here we have a simple illustration. So we have proposal A, where the consultant fee is 5,000, and the consultant promises, okay, so this is an example of a retail business who wants to hire a consultant to help them reduce their spoilage, as in produce spoilage. So consultants, proposal A says that their consultant fee is 5,000 and they will help reduce spoilage. That's all. But proposal B says that their consultant fee is 8,000 and then promises I'll reduce spoilage by at least 20%, saving you about 25,000 per year. And then the cost benefit balance, spending 8,000 to save 25,000 equals to better value than 5,000. And then it says proposal B leaves staff trained. So they don't just come and do what they have to do. They also ensure that even after they have left, it continues. What they've come to do continues, and then the firm enjoys long-term benefits. So here it says that even the proposal B is more expensive, the firm chooses it because it offers better value for money, clear savings, lower risk, and long-term benefits. Please, the next slide. Okay, so please, my colleague will continue from here. Risk considerations in financial proposal evaluation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Gina.
Okay, I want you to quickly wrap up with the risks, and then we move on. Others are going to present detailed technical and financial proposals from Accra. So there are some few risks I want you to be aware of. So just present quickly on this, and let's end it here, please.
All right, Linda, please kindly proceed. I think there's just the last but one slide and we'll be done.
Okay. I will continue from risk consideration in financial proposal evaluation. Risk assessment is about checking if the bidder has planned for uncertainties and has provided measures to protect both the client and the project. So when we talk about financial risk, we are talking about the currency fluctuations, inflation, and project delays. The currency fluctuation is a rise or fall in value of a country's money compared to the another. This can increase costs unexpectedly. The inflation is about prices of materials, that is fuel or labor, may rise during the project period. This makes the proposal cost projections unreliable if inflation was not factored in. Project delays also means longer payment periods, which may increase overheads. Example, extra staff salaries and equipment rentals. So we also look at the risk management measures. These are the contingency for unexpected costs. A good financial proposal usually includes a contingency allowance, often 5 to 10% of total cost. Then we also talk about the insurance. The coverage against accidents, damage, or loss during the project execution. Then the warranty. That is the assurance on quality and responsibility for defects after delivery. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll conclude briefly. We'll conclude briefly.
Please let's just skip the conclusion. But I think you've done justice to the work, so that's fine. I'll take just one question for them, if any, one. Okay, please move on to your previous slides on the risk.
Yes, please.
Okay, so the risks they considered are currency fluctuations, inflation, delays in the project. So you should be able to anticipate all these risks and then put measures against them, because the project can delay in most cases, especially in Ghana. And then contingencies for unexpected costs. So in terms of any financial proposals, have a contingency allowance of 5 to 10% of the total cost. Sometimes the ITC will be specific, add maybe 5% or 10% or whatever. And this is supposed to be a buffer against unexpected events. In the absence of any questions, I'll ask Accra people to start their presentation. Please, upload it in the chat for us.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Ernest. Ernest, I've shared some documents with you in your personal inbox so you can check and download.
Okay.
Actually, those ones are the very detailed ones with it. Will be presenting a slide which is a summarized version of the work you have to do.
So this is what I want you to do. After everything, you upload the slides and then the work itself also here. Then you also upload both onto the class web page for me, please.
Okay. Wonderful. We'll do that. I believe you can see my screen. Hello.
We can hear you.
We can hear
you loud and clear.
All right. So, for the sake of time, our icebreaker.
Dennis.
Can we have our icebreaker, please?
Okay, so my name is Mary Boache, and I'll take you to this very brief icebreaker. We are all familiar with it, but it's just something to bring our minds back to what we are doing and get our attention. So I'm going to be asking you to do a few things while I sing the song. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands.
And you know it.
If you're happy and you
know it.
How about those of us who don't know it?
Oh! Go ahead. Please go ahead.
Because me, I don't know.
Yeah, so you just clap your hands or do the things I say you should do while I sing.
Okay, but I'm not happy, so I won't clap.
Yeah. So let's see those who are happy.
So those who are happy should just clap.
Okay.
If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know, and you really want to show. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands.
Sunday school teacher.
Your voice is nice. You have a beautiful voice.
Sunday school teacher.
So I think
Madam, that's Olele for you.
Okay, Olele.
All right. So our presentation is going to be in two folds. It's a 2-in-1 presentation, the technical and then the financial proposals. Our task was that we were given it was published that there is a call for proposals, and then we had to apply for it. So as you can see, we have our technical proposal, the project title, and that is the technical proposal for design and delivery and entrepreneurship training program and provision for mentorship and advisory support to a newly established startup in the Cgsl canton. We have our reference number there, and then the date, and then the name of our company is Paps Consult. For long is the Quashie-Sam Consult. So as you can see, very soon you'll see our registration and other stuff. And so this proposal was prepared by Paps Consult, and then it's prepared for the UNDP. The purpose is to meet the criteria and prerequisites for design and delivery entrepreneurship training program, and the provision of mentorship and advisory support for the newly established startup. Alfred, you take it up from here, please.
Right. Good afternoon, class. Good afternoon, Ernest.
Good afternoon.
Essentially, we are to respond to an RFP that was issued by UNDP to submit submit expression of interest to the design and delivery entrepreneurship training program and provide mentorship and advisory support for newly established SMEs. So essentially, we were going strictly according to the forms provided in the terms of reference under section 6 of the ITC. So the forms were very strict and we had to adhere to this. I'm happy we've gone through the processes of how the technical report is, what it should entail, and how the financial report is and what it should entail. So this is just a presentation. The actual detailed work is in a larger document, which from time to time we'll be referring to. So this one is just a presentation of the various key points that we considered under the EOI. So essentially we had to present, and then the first was to respond to accept the proposal and the RFP. Then can we go to the actual document? We can be flipping through fast.
The actual, okay.
So yes, the technical report. So we responded duly to the form, making sure that we were in line with all the requirements. So our initial statement was we, the undersigned, offer to provide the service for in the area that the proposal was requested for, and we are submitting our proposal, which includes the technical reports and the financial report sealed under separate envelopes. So we made that statement, we made a declaration to make sure that we abide by all the other legal requirements regarding in alignment to SDG goals, which were also in the ITC. And then we are also aligned with conflict of interest and fraud issues regarding as required by the ITC. Maggie, when the forms required us to
group, you need to facilitate such that you minimize noise. So if there's an interruption, please you pause with your presentation and you address it. Otherwise, it will carry on. Thank you.
So we went, like I said, strictly according to the forms provided under the RFP. I must say that various institutions and other organizations have specific ways for the presentation of technical financial proposals. And for this particular one, they had it in Form A, B, C, D to G. So Form A, the technical proposal form, submission form, required us to accept and then also to make reference to how who we are. So in the Form B, we had the bidders information. Can we go to Form B? So yes, this responds to Form A, specifically to how it was structured for us to respond to. And like I said, it needed us to accept the LOI. So yes, the letter of invitation, and then also to make sure we understood what we're doing and be in alignment with the requirements of the UNDP under the ITCs. So we did that. It was signed by our MD, John Mark, and then we inserted all the bidder information in under Form B. Can we go to the next Form B? Right, so it's duly signed, as you can see. And then we go to Form B, and then the table had already been prepared for us to fill out the details, the legal name, as we learned just a few minutes ago, in preparation of the technical report, you need to indicate your name, address of operations, year of registration, and then who you are, the representative of the bidder who represents the firm, and also any other information regarding whether you are registered under a certain body or not, and then the country of operation and number of employees you have. Your specific, and then your compliance with ISO certifications. We have the ISO 900, we have 14001, and then health and safety environmental policy statements were all in there. So this was specific to the requirements that the form gave. And then we attached the company profile, which we made sure wasn't exceeding 15 pages. The certificate of incorporation, the tax filings, and then we didn't have any trade name registration, so we omitted that. And the power of attorney, in case our legal representative, who is our managing director, is not present, who can take over. So we ensured that we had that as well on the technical report. It also requested whether we had any joint ventureship. We didn't, so can we go up? Yes. So Form C was specific, requesting if we had any joint ventureship, and to also the degree of partnerships that we had, which we didn't. So Form C, we made a statement that it was not applicable. In fact, when you're filling these forms, you need to ensure that you fill everything. Even if it doesn't apply, you have to say it doesn't apply. You just don't leave anything blank. So we had to state that at this minute there was no joint ventureship, and then we will confirm if a JV is formed along the line prior to accepting the proposal. So we can move on to Form D. So Form D requested for history of performance or non-performance, and within the last 5 years. So within the last 5 years, there was no non-performance. We had contracts within the last 5 years, which we had actually undertaken successfully and had signed off. So there was no non-performance. And then the years that we undertook services across the continent, we indicated the services that we had undertaken, the clients that engaged us, the contract value, the period, the comments, and then the achieved outcomes. The table had already been provided, so we had to go by it. Yeah, so we can go on to any litigation. There was no litigation against us pending or resolved, so there was nothing for any reporting. And then the previous experience that we have had, can we go down a bit? Yes. Our previous experience, no, not the financial standing. Yes. So our previous and relevant engagements, like I said, we had to indicate that over there. Now the section, the financial standing, which also talks about whether we are able to undertake the project. The RFP was specific to require that the bidders should have at least 100,000 in annual turnover. So we had to make sure that our books were good enough to be able to qualify for it. So eventually we saw, yes, we were qualified. The first year annual turnover was 520,000, year 2, 490,000, year 3, 500,000. And so we were much above the qualification line. And then we showed our total assets and liabilities. In fact, these all goes to show that we are in good financial standing to undertake the project without any pre-financing. So we can be able to fully complete the project without any breaks or requiring the clients to come up with any funds. So that was what we did. So it shows that the company is in good standing and we qualify. Attached financial statements and balance sheets they would be part of documents that we will present to reflect that we stand in good shape for the project. And then the most comprehensive Form E. Form E essentially brings us to more or less at the time of advertising or showing that we are more qualified to do the job. We also have to state how we are going to proceed on the job systematically. As we learned a few minutes ago, it's part of the technical report that we should show methodology of implementation, and then expected risks, outcomes, and how we're going to mitigate all these things there. So we had our bidders information, a brief description of our organization, including the years and the country of incorporation, which we've done that, and the types of activities undertaken. Can we go up a bit? We actually started with an executive summary because there's a requirement to have done that. So there was an executive summary, a very short one. Then can you go so that I read the executive summary?
So this proposal presents a comprehensive approach to designing, delivering, and sustaining a 14-month.
Yeah. 10 with headquarters in Accra. The company specializes in programs. Then it's gone. Okay. Yeah. So then are we there?
Yeah. Is it the executive summary?
Yeah. So this proposal presents a comprehensive approach to designing, delivering, and sustaining a 14-month entrepreneurship training and mentorship program targeting newly established startups in Cgsl Canton. Solutions integrate skill development, personalized mentorship, and business advisory support to enable startups to build resilience, scale operations, and contribute to Cgesl's socioeconomic growth. So that was just brief. And then by leveraging on our experience in entrepreneurship capacity building, our local market knowledge, we set up some deliverables that we would undertake. So we'll deliver tailored training modules that combine business fundamentals, data skills, and innovation-driven growth strategies. We'll also provide structured mentorship and one-on-one advisory services through a network of seasoned entrepreneurs and industry experts. And then we establish a monitoring mechanism to track progress and outcomes and long-term impact. In fact, as we learned yesterday, the models that we use to track monitoring are there. The Kirkpatrick models are there. The CIPPs and the CIROs would be applied to make sure that we monitor effectively. But because of the rigidity of the forms, we are not able to talk all that, assuming that all the evaluators would be in the know of all these things. They are technical people who are going to evaluate. So the section also brought us to a proposed methodology and then the implementation approach. So we had to also design one for this purpose and then indicate what we would do. So we had to give an introduction first and then show the responses to the various headings that the forms had already pre-provided. 1 second. Yeah. So at this minute, would somebody want to continue? I should still go.
So at this point, we gave our executive summary also, and then we stated our bidders' qualification, our capacity, and then the expertise, our organizational profile, where we were established in 2010, headquartered in Accra, and our specializations, our management, and other stuff. So we gave also our management structure, our financial stability, and project financing capacity. Then the project management controls, our subcontracting arrangements, our relevant experience and expertise. So we also gave, as the document required us, we gave our past relevant engagements, that is the clients that we have served, the year we served, the project title we did, our description, and then the outcome of the project we did. Also, it's required for our quality assurance procedures, and they are all stated in the document. Our risk mitigation measures also, where the company recognizes the potential risk that may impact the implementation of the project, and we have prepared proactive strategies to manage them. So our potential risk, we saw that there is going to be a low participant attendance or dropout. So the mitigation strategy was that we are going to pre-engage, we are going to have a pre-engagement outreach, flexible training schedules, and hybrid learning options, that is either in person and online. And we also said that there's going to be a potential risk of delay in mentor availability. And also the mitigation strategy for that is that we are going to maintain a pool of backup mentors with similar expertise. Another potential risk we noted was that there's going to be a limited access to digital tools for the participants. And so we're going to provide an offline training material and facilitate. Also, we noted that there's going to be a financial or logistical constraint. And then the mitigation was that we are going to maintain contingency funds to establish the local partnership for the venue and then equipment support. So through this quality assurance framework, the risk management plan of our organization is going to ensure that the program will be delivered on time to specification, and then measurable positive outcomes for the startups. Our organization commitment to sustainability also was stated: our economic sustainability, our social sustainability, our environmental sustainability, and then the long-term impact orientation. Then we moved on to the section 2, where it also required us to give our proposed methodology and approach and implementation plan. And one, we had to understand the requirements, so we made them understand that we understand the requirements, and then we also gave them the approach and methodology that we were going to use. So as part of the methodology that we're going to use, we let them know that our pedagogy blends adult learning and practical application, where our curriculum, we are going to have a 10-day core covering opportunity assessment, a business model canvas, a basic finance, marketing compliance, and digitization. Also, our delivery, we are going to have a facilitator-led workshop, simulations, case studies, and the local area and a peer case studies from the local area, and then a peer learning circles. Our mentorship program is going to look at one-on-one and group coaching using the structured playbook. Each participant received an individualized growth plan, and then the market linkages, the buyer-supplier meetups, and then the investor pitch day. And then our M&E, we are going to also have a pre- and post-assessment, maintenance logs, and attendance log, and then tracer service. And tracer service are 3 to 6 months, and then also a sex and age disaggregated indicators. Then we went on to let the institution know of our service delivery organization and quality controls, where that one also the risk analysis and then the mitigation was stated. Then our implementation plan. So we gave a detailed NAT chart that will be provided. The mapping activities such as the stakeholder consultation, diagnostic, solution design, validation, implementation support, and close out over the agreed time frame. So we also give up the implementation plan, which has been stated there.
Yes.
Yeah, look at that.
I must say that in all this, we needed to also look at everything that we have learned prior to this. We have learned that in consultation, the initial steps are to engage and then to diagnose and all that. So at the inception stage, you go in there, you look at the problems, you diagnose, and then you make sure that you have a full data on whatever you're going to work on. So we give timelines to when we're going to do all these things. The lead people who are going to handle all those ones, and then when we are going to start and end. And then we have to break down the structures that follow from there. After consultation, we go all the way to advisory and then monitoring evaluation. So I just have to check that in. Please can continue.
So our sustainability integration also we stated, and then we gave additional comments. Then we gave the best comments and suggestions for the terms of reference given us. So we noticed that we are going to consider extending a stakeholder engagement session to include grassroots and then community level actors for a broader buy-in. Also, we're going to include a post-implementation review 6 months after the project closure to assess the real-world outcomes. And then we're also going to suggest the integrating digital data collection tools to improve efficiency and accuracy. And then we move on to the section 3 as the form requires for us, that is the management approach and then the level of effort. So our structure is now we are going to have a lead project, a lead trainer, the SME experts and mentorship coordinator, the mentors, the M&E specialists to run parallel with the QA, M&E. There is a quality assurance, right? The QA, quality assurance, and then the M&E is. Can you help me with the M&E?
Evaluation.
Monitoring and evaluation. Yes. So monitoring and evaluation, and then the quality assurance are going to run parallel, and then also there's going to be a weekly coordination meetings. And shared action tracker will be used throughout the delivery. So we have the names of the roles. So we have Bismarck as our project lead. As you can see, they are all stated. And also we went on to
the portion of training is going to be online, and some would be in country. We ensure that we utilize every available tool, technology, and even manual printouts to be able to achieve the goal or the expectations that we wanted.
And after that, it's required for us to give the CVs of our key personnel. As you can see stated there, we have 44 of them, and then you can see we have the doctors, we have the MSCs, we have those who went to school in Harvard and other staffs, are senior managers, and in fact, you can see that
as it shows, we are
the entire class. We are there.
KNUST featured more. You know, most of our people attended KNUST, so you can see that KNUST is a good school for you to attend.
Scroll down.
And then from the qualifications, you see that we are well resourced in the field that is being requested. As part of some of the evaluations of these technical documents, they look at expertise and then competence. And from the CVs, you can draw from it that almost everybody has a certain training or
very well qualified.
We are there.
You see, they set their own questions and mark themselves, and they are saying we are qualified. Hey.
So this is it for the technical proposal. We'll move on to the financial proposal.
Please let me say something whilst you are moving on. You carry on moving on. But you see, with this, they gave you a template to follow, right? With the CV.
Yes.
Other than that, you should have done a proper CV. Some will say it shouldn't be more than 2 pages, or it shouldn't be more than 5 pages or 10 pages. They can indicate. But if they don't indicate, then you should give all the relevant things you want to give, and the number of pages wouldn't be necessary. So in essence, if I ask for CVs, you are not going to give me this template. You give me proper CV. You do CVs for everyone in the exam.
We know.
Hey.
Maybe so this can be an examination question.
Okay.
So this is the financial proposal.
Yeah, Dennis, let me come in.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so yes, this is the financial proposal, and then I would want to thank our project lead and project coordinator Alfred and Dennis for taking us through the technical projects. As the FNA director, I sat down with the whole team. We agreed on the budgeting and then cost allocation to each of the activities we are going to perform. And for that matter, we came up with this beautiful and nice financial proposal. So just as the initial pages look like, we designed it just to
allow me to comment on this because I'll forget. Just go back. Just to draw everyone's attention. You see, they have their own logo. They have the logo of UNDP, and that is nice. So be innovative, be creative. Don't let your documents be too boring. It's for these two organizations. So even for them to think about it is a plus for me.
Allah.
Thank you very much.
It means that
I cry for you.
Yeah. We have a competent team, you know. So we would want to go straight to what we agreed on as the costing and then the budgeting for the entire project. The summary of the cost, our total professional fees, we are looking at 84,750. And then our project currency is in USD, United States dollars. So let us bear in mind. Then other costs, we are looking at 23,800. The total financial proposal for the entire project, excluding VAT, is 108,550,000 US dollars.
You see the beginning of corruption.
Please hold on. We'll explain. Hold on. Go too fast.
So we are the breakdown of the professional fees is as follows. We have our project lead, Joyce Mefaglement. We are giving her $600 per day for 15 days. That is the total sum. Alfred Hagan, the lead trainer, 550. And then all these ones that I'm mentioning are for those in country. So those of us that will be traveling along to Soranjavo Canton, this is our daily wage or per diem, as you may term it. Then we have Margaret, $450 for 15 days. Hussein Fadilu, we have $450 for 15 days. So that, Dennis, can you scroll up? Okay. So MNE too, we have it there. Then our home based, those of us who are going to give us the support from our home base, our country. We have Philomena, we have Bless, and then they are corresponding per diems per day times the number of days they are going to do it. So in all, the total professional fee, we are looking at 84,750, and then our other costs. So the breakdown of our other costs, we are looking at international flights. We are looking at trips, and we are looking at 5 trips, which is 1,100 cedis per flight, giving us a total of 5,500. Then the subsistence allowance, we are looking at 250 for 58 days, which amounts to 14,500. Then miscellaneous travel expenses, they are looking at $100 for 6 days per trip. Per trip, which is 600 cedis. And then local transportation.
Dollars. Our currency is in dollars.
Yes, it's in dollars. So thanks for the correction, everyone. Thinking to it. Local transportation costs 1,200. Out of pocket expenses 500. Other training costs, materials and translations 1,005. So like as we said in our technical report, we are going to provide training materials and other stuff for the participants. So it has been duly budgeted for. So in all, these are breakdown price per deliverables or activity. So we are saying that deliverable number 1, inception and TNA reports. After these ones are done in 10 days, we are expecting a professional fee of 7,300 and then other cost of $2,650. So in total, after deliverable number 1, we are expecting $9,950. Then deliverable number 2, curriculum and then materials, which we are supposed to be done in 15 days, expecting a total cost of $10,150, other cost of $3,800, and total of $13,950. Deliverable number 3, cohort 1, training delivery, cohort 2, training delivery, cohort 4. It follows to the last one. Dennis, can you please? So in all, we are looking at a total cost of $108,550 for the cost of the entire project, should we be given the opportunity to run the training. So this will be our financial proposal for the UNDP to consider. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. Well said.
So I think we are done. These ones were the PowerPoint presentation we put for the work. But since we have given the detailed work, I think we would pause here for questions and then suggestions.
So first of all, please upload the PowerPoint as well as the main work here, so Kumasi people can also download, and then send them to me via the class reps page. It's very important. If you don't send it, I will not be chasing anyone for the slides for math, so it will end there. Okay, I must say you've done an excellent job, very detailed. I'm so much impressed with this. Let me also add this: on the basis of the good job done, there's not going to be any mix.
Wait, let's get talk before you celebrate. Before you celebrate.
Relax, before she changes her mind. Relax.
I'm not changing my mind. The work is good. I think you've gone beyond my expectations, so that is beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah. I like every aspect of it. The only thing that scared me was how you allocate the cost to just professional fees and then payment of and the consultants, and there was nothing for the work itself. So that one you all have to watch out. Okay. So the work itself you have to cost it. So if you're going to do that workshop, how much is it going to cost? So workshop 1, workshop 2, or whatever materials, curriculum development, how much are you charging? So then the charges should move so much from the consultant into the work. I'm not saying don't pay the consultants, pay the consultant, but the costs for the consultants are too huge. Okay. So you have to slash down and rather focus on so for instance, delivery of curriculum material is 10,000, but the cost of the consultants doing it is way higher than this. So please watch out. Otherwise, what some organizations do is that they'll take your ideas, give it to a cheaper one for them to implement.
Okay, point well made. Well noted, man.
Watch out with it. Then as everything, okay, I'll come to Idris Abu in a minute. As everything, if you've got the job, the next stage is for us to negotiate on the terms before signing the contract. Once one area I would want to negotiate is the number of consultants you are bringing. I know this is an assignment, so all of you have to do. So that one I know, but I'm just bringing it up. That it's an area you can always negotiate if there are many. Once we negotiate on the number of consultants, it will automatically also bring down the cost of the financial proposal. So let's look at that. Then I will also want to negotiate on the cost for each consultant each.
And if we are open to
my learned friends from Harvard University.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why the cost is high.
The professionals are
expertise. The beginning of friends. Did I have? Okay, I won't go there. I rest my case. Okay, I saw Mr. Idris's hand up. Please go on.
Yes, honest. Thank you. I'm glad you like our work. I just want to commend my classmates. I'm so happy today. For the first time in my life, I want to commend myself. The real challenge was that the group was so huge. The whole class.
Yeah.
So some way, somehow, maturity setting, and some members set up smaller groups, and these groups finally came up to, amount to the bigger group, and here we are. And I'm grateful to the Almighty. I'm so happy. Thank you.
Wow. So you see, you should always have a strategy for handling every issue. Always have a strategy. And you see, technical and financial proposals, they are time consuming. Unless if they use AI to do this. Oh no. I know you won't accept it, so don't go there. Most of the areas
this one is we spent sleepless nights on this.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Even yesterday we were up to midnight.
We had like sleepless nights too. Sleepless nights.
We have been meeting every day at what 8 and 9 p.m. 8, 9, 10.
Yes,
put in the work.
So honest, we would want to say
we really have put in the work. So
fact,
tell us what you have for us.
Honest, on a more serious note, you have an amazing facilitator from day one. Lots of things that we have learned.
Your assessment will glow.
You have given us the names of the actual things that we possibly might know already. So basically, some of the things that we do randomly, we don't even know what it's called. And how we behave in our own organizations and how we have to handle some. An advanced you have brought us to this level. From the bottom of my heart and on behalf of my team, I'm grateful. We enjoyed your class. You are not just a beautiful woman, but a beautiful and a brainy woman too. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I think on that note, Hagan has given a vote of thanks, so we can call it the 7th.
Kindly complete what you started. You say with our work, something is going to happen.
Yes. I didn't hear from your friend today, Agrada.
Oh, where's Agrada? We have an Agrada in class, so where's Agrada? Today you are too quiet.
Agrada is not feeling well.
Oh.
After the time we were going to start your class, she was in the hospital.
Oh, we have to go and visit Agrada. Please send my speedy recovery to her. Tell her I wish her a speedy recovery. I'm praying for her. Okay. We have an Agrada in Kumasi. So those who don't know her, unfortunately, she's at the hospital today.
We'll remember her during our hour.
Yes, we share the link with her. And there is an NSPPD, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Seriously, I have truly enjoyed this class.
We are the class that brought you to Kwabenya for the first time.
The only class.
Yes, and we are the class that keeps surprising you.
And I told you I was not coming again. That's why this semester I didn't come. No, but I've enjoyed Kumasi, I've enjoyed Accra, I've enjoyed both classes, and I want to say a big thank you to you for making my class so lovely. Please do the assessment for me, okay? Thank you, God bless you too. Do the assessment for me. I need it. I need all of you.
The assessment said that case on arrival.
Thank you. Oh, and I have a DVLA, so if you need,
It's also
I don't want any conflict of interest, but if you need then you go to DVLA.
Yeah, madam, I tried doing the assessment. It seems it has been closed.
Oh, then
it has been closed.
I'm sure they'll open it before.
Please try and talk to them so that they open it again.
They
You
have
have
not
finished
getting any marks.
for this semester.
They couldn't have done that. We were not done with the lecture.
Exactly.
They couldn't do that.
So we couldn't
They have to reopen it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to give any group marks until you all make complaint to the director to open it for you to assess it. When you all do, let your class reps contact me and then I can give you marks. Otherwise, this Saturday you are I need to hear from you by Tuesday. Otherwise, Wednesday I'm submitting
Bismarck and Divine. This one.
Bismarck and Divine, over to you.
Bismarck and Divine. This one, over to you.
Wednesday, I'll send your questions. Saturday, you do.
Please, no midterm.
Then assessment. Otherwise, you do midterm. On that note, I want to say a big thank you. It's been lovely. We may not meet again, but we'll meet after everything. Those I'm supervising, please get in touch. Let's quickly finish the work. Those I'm not supervising, don't worry. During graduation, I'll be there. Just look out for me, okay? And then let's say hello. Let's take pictures. And I may pop into your organization. Just introduce yourself. Don't worry, there wouldn't be any conflict of interest. Okay, once in a while, just stay in touch. Let's all stay in touch. Please build social capital in class. Take 1 or 2 contacts and then make friends. You never know when you need them. In case you rise up, please remember KNUST, your alma mater. Please give back to your alma mater, okay? You can build blocks of classrooms and then we put your name on it. That would be great. It can even be class of 2025 or class of 2026. You can do it, or anything at all you want to do. It would be very much appreciated. But please, let me reiterate, don't collect anything and bring it to my office. No, conflict of interest. No, no, no. Okay?
Thank
I
you.
wish you all the best. It doesn't mean anything. It only means I appreciate you just as it is. I don't need anything for me to know you also appreciate me. On that note, Jagan has given us the vote of thanks. I wish you a beautiful weekend and I wish you the best in the exams. I'm going to have how did they call it? Revision with you. Okay. So once your timetable comes out, please class rep, let me know, and then we agree on the dates and the time. Probably it's going to be one evening or Saturday. Then we do a quick revision. Please read everything. Don't ask me for areas. Read everything. You'll be fine.
I hope you share the slides with us. Your slides.
Oh yes. Class rep, remind me. I'll send it to you. You share with the class. Please make sure Kumasi and Accra have it. Whoever takes it, make sure Kumasi and Accra have it. Latest by Monday, tomorrow, they should all have it. Okay. On that note, thank you so much. Can I leave the class as I'm done?
Thank you too. Thank you. Wishing you all the best.
Thank you so much.
One person.
Hey, Dennis, stop it.
Honest.
What was the question? Oh, it's past. It was June. Hey, am I June? No, I'm not June. I'm July. It was July 6th. It's past. It's gone.
Oh, I'm July 12th, you know.
You are what? August 12th.
I'm July 12th.
Happy belated birthday.
Okay, happy belated
No wonder you are
And I'm 4th July.
No wonder
you're a July born, madam.
Happy July born. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Those who have
Thank
celebrated happy
you.
belated birthday, those who are yet to celebrate happy birthday to you, as well as all those who are yet to celebrate happy birthday to you. Okay. All right. On that note,
Thank you.
Hello,
can I-
Ernest.
yes, Mr. Deba. No, Beda. Hey, what am I
Yes, you're right. Anytime you need DVLA services, don't hesitate to contact me. I'm just a call away.
I will. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All
Can
the
I
best.
end it now?
Yes,
Thank
please.
you. Enjoy your evening, okay?
Hello, Ernest.
Yes.
Hello, Ernest.
Yes.
Yeah, please, you are my supervisor, and I've gotten in touch. So please, maybe this evening I have to get back.
What's the name, please?
And you're for ready.
And Nyonyam Oforiaje, what's your topic?
The role of
yes.
the topic.
Off camera. Contact
Okay, and you just send me a message. Tell me you're part of Cgsl class, and then we take it from there. Okay.
Okay.
Take care, everyone.
So
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Ernest.
Bye.
Charlie Accra on the other side.
All right.
On the other side, if they are then is then
I see that the bell. I contact her. Oh God.